Welcome back to the flat.
Thank you, mate.
How you doing, mate?
Pretty good. We've just announced truefooty.com.au on Instagram and getting some
did.
really nice feedback both in the chat and there as well. So I'm up and about despite my football team. How are you?
I'm very, very well.
You guys actually won.
Yeah, we did actually. It doesn't feel like it, but we did. I mean, this might be, from a North Melbourne perspective, might be the easiest fixturing I've ever seen. I don't want to downplay the achievements of the team and the progression of the team, which is clearly
you never
there.
do that.
I never do that. I never do that. What about West Coast?
Oh dear.
Was that I actually didn't watch I usually watch your review, but I ran out of time this week.
Excuses.
Yeah.
No, we that was the most difficult opponent we've had for a number of weeks now.
Just the quality, the sheer quality of Carlton.
Yeah, we've gone through a run of playing some lower ranked sides, and I think we've held our own pretty well over that stretch. Probably left a few premiership points on the table. This was a big step up for us, and for me, I think there is a pretty negative mood about Eagles fans around the performance. I'm not sure I share it. I don't think it's as big a step back as people are suggesting. I think we played a pretty good team without being, they're probably not top six yet. I'm not necessarily going that far, but it was a step up for us and we got punched in the mouth.
Did you just say top six?
No, I said I didn't say top six.
When Carlton beat Richmond next week, can we repost? Remember the clip that I did in the preseason that got so much shit when I said Carlton could make the top six?
Yeah, that's actually fair. That's actually
can we
content
repost
idea.
that?
Yeah, all right.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Who were your winners and losers?
Winners and losers this week. Okay. I had a couple for each category.
Oh.
Am I allowed to do that? Or do I have to nominate the biggest winner?
Not really. You sort of get one.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll go for the one that I don't think you'll go for.
Okay.
And that leaves you open to go for my other one. I'm going to go Port Adelaide.
Okay, they were mine.
Okay. All right, then forget I said it. The Brisbane Lions would be the other one.
Same.
Okay, there we go. All right, so we agree.
I love how we both have
two.
a backup.
Yeah.
As we come into it.
Yeah, I always write down like 3 or 4 sometimes and then I'm like, go with the one. I think winning the showdown though, regardless of whether it means anything for this season, that's a big win for their fans.
I think we put a bit of shade on Port Adelaide last week. I remember we were talking about the Josh Carr thing and the fact that he could have been one of the best coaches for the season and we're a bit like, I don't know, like we kind of dismissed it, I suppose, of how good a season he is having. If you take away, I reckon, the first month of football where they were pretty deplorable, they have actually been really good.
It probably is just reflecting the reality of a club adapting to a new coach, right?
Yeah.
There's always a step back, particularly if you consider, I don't think he had a lot to work with. Right,
No.
It's not as though he's Dean Cox taking over Sydney. Mind you, he had a slow start, probably due to injury. But we often see in the league it takes a little while for a coach, regardless of how good they are, to get their game going. And I think it's fair to suggest what he's doing with this Port Adelaide group has exceeded expectations.
I think so. I think they've been really, really good, and you're starting to actually see that emergence from the young players as well, which is a part of that as well. I did go Brisbane, which you also had written down. I think, for me, with them, they've announced themselves again, haven't they? And I know that's strange to say about a reigning premier and a premier that's won the last 2 premierships, but they're back.
Yeah,
they're back.
The thing is because it's Brisbane, it only takes one performance. You're like, they're so back. And I kind of had that a little bit with the Giants, like 3 weeks ago, where I was like, when they torched Brisbane and then they torched Melbourne. And then I was like, oh my God, they're so back. At least
they weren't back.
No, I didn't mean like premiership contenders, but I thought, okay, they'll play finals now. They'll make the 10. And then since then they've started.
What have they done? They've gone...
they lost to Carlton.
They lost to Carlton. I think there's a worse loss in there.
Yeah, well, they lost to Hawthorn. I suppose that was a pretty reasonable performance. There might be one that we're missing off the top of our heads there.
There's a bad one in there as well.
Possibly. I feel like there was another bad one.
Yeah.
I forget. And they got Fremantle.
Saints.
Yes, and they got Fremantle coming up this week as well. So all that to be said, on Brisbane, they certainly looked back, but can they do it from outside the 4? Can they make the 4? Adelaide losing does leave the door open a little bit. We thought Adelaide would slip in there, but they still got to overcome Geelong. Absolutely.
I want to see what other people are saying about whether they think Brisbane are back. Bobby Magic Official says Brisbane won a 45-55 game. Port won a showdown with a large spotlight on the club and Zach Butters heading into the game. It's Port by a mile. Go F yourself, Dylan. It doesn't say that at the end. But I took it as that because Brisbane were mine.
Absolutely. The only reason I probably would hesitate with Port Adelaide is I think winners of the week, I tend to go around context of the season. What's the impact on the ladder?
Yeah.
And for Port Adelaide, it's a bit of a dead season, at least in terms of what they can achieve. Maybe that's a bit harsh. They can still achieve stuff. But
painting that in a different way, though, spinning that a little bit, like, is that not more impressive? Because they were essentially playing for nothing. And, like, there's so many of these games where, like, the media will be talking about it and they say, like, it's a showdown. It doesn't matter where you are in the ladder. Both teams, rise to the occasion. Port Adelaide actually lived that this week and they did it. And it's not always easy to do.
And the Crows had plenty to play for. Like, a win would have put them in fourth.
They were coming.
Were they already fourth? No, because we
just about.
This was when this is the round where all the games even up.
Yeah.
So I think they would have been fourth had they won that.
There's a block of four, like almost four teams, isn't there? So there's the Cats that are in fourth. Hawthorn are slightly above.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Cats. You've got the Lions. You've got
Adelaide.
Adelaide. But Adelaide could have
Adelaide were fifth, I reckon.
Yeah, and the D's are probably just about in that group.
Yep.
Albeit we sort of have this
we
feeling.
could just get the ladder up instead of keep guessing.
I prefer to sort of just... It's actually behind you.
Oh, have you updated it?
I think that's updated.
It's partially concealed for reasons. Melbourne are seventh. The Bulldogs are in eighth.
But are Melbourne not essentially in that group on points? Yeah, I know, ninth.
Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs are in that group on points. They're actually... So Western Bulldogs in eighth are level on points with Geelong in fourth.
Okay.
And North Melbourne is only one win off fourth. That's
crazy.
That's disgusting.
It's crazy. Do you think we've been that good?
Of course not.
Oh, damn. I kind of expected you to be like, well, yeah, like try and paint it.
No, look, on North, and we'll get into the games. We'll do our game-by-game thing. I think, to be fair, I don't think even the fans are getting that carried away about where they're at on the ladder.
Some are, but...
Yeah. Do you think so?
Probably some are, but...
I think there's a pragmatism about what the wins mean, but also bearing in mind where they've come from.
Also enjoy yourself. Like, if you're a North fan,
totally fair.
Go for it. Fuck
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Fuck the haters.
No, it's fun. I mean, when was the last time we've won 8 games? Like 2019, I can't remember how much they won. Probably more than 8.
This is the first time we've won 3 games in a row, I think.
Yeah, for a long time.
Since 1999. That's not true.
No, that's not true. But yeah. Yeah. That being said, did sort of... How would you characterise the North Melbourne win, briefly, before we get into the comments again? It reminded me the first time we played Essendon. I feel like they made a late charge in both games and it ended up being kind of close.
It's like pull your eyes out of the back of your head type of a setup. Like it was, to be honest, like the key metrics of the game were very, very much in our favour.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I think that probably in a way, it kind of shows you where North Melbourne are at. It's like when we play those big teams and we get opportunities and we win the ball out of the middle, etc., we kind of don't hurt teams that much.
Yeah.
I think like that kind of showed against Essendon where we could have won by, that could have been a 10-goal win. You know what I mean? And we just couldn't really put any pressure on them.
That's true. Amadi out for 10 weeks. I thought he was out for the season. Maybe it's just 10 weeks. Harry Edwards out for the season. Thank you for letting us know. I did see the Harry... Oh, I saw both actually.
Is 10 weeks out not the season? At this point,
does it technically leave him like in line for a grand final?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I guess they can't categorically rule him out. Andrew says you guys should add a trade simulator to the website. That's absolutely coming. Yeah. Somebody suggested that to me in the past. That's the one thing it's lacking at the moment, but that's a really good idea.
It's got the draft simulator.
Yeah. So, but in terms of that, you can also build in live trades, which it currently doesn't have, but we'll start doing that.
Love that.
Lots of Eagles burn victims. Taylor Byrne, he was great against West Coast. Absolutely.
Yeah, 3 goals.
Yeah, 3 goals.
For
yeah,
TV.
one really good one too.
I'm so glad Taylor Byrne is doing well.
Yeah,
he's just such a good player.
You talked to me pre-draft. You're like, look out for this Taylor Byrne guy. If you like Hannaford, which I did, you'll like Taylor Byrne. And he's very good.
Yeah, I love him. Absolutely love him.
Rogie says an ability to shift the draft order as well to accommodate predications for the ladder. Okay.
Oh, so like if kind of like being able to go like, if this happens on the ladder, you can have a look at it.
I can have a think about that and how to implement it. It's a good idea. I do update the order every Monday, so it is up to date. But fair enough.
As in, I suppose Rogie's thinking like can you go into the future, do almost like a squiggle tip that changes the ladder, and then you can figure out.
That's a cool idea.
You can push it forward.
I'll look into that. I'll look into that.
Yeah, might be tricky, but it's a cool idea.
Yeah, Nathan says, side note, imagine yearly pass and seasonal pass for trade and draft period would be my pricing 2 cents. Good idea. I'm totally into ideas about how to use this website and how we can improve it. We've also just created a little forum, so you can start threads, you can reply to people.
Yeah,
you can actually
that'll be great for that feedback, right? So
Yeah,
you'll be able to go like, okay, this isn't working, and we can fix something. Or
yeah, because when we launched the website, and we have like 50 odd members now, which is fantastic. Thank you so much. But there was a part of me that was like, oh, I'm flying blind. Like, if anyone can't get the site to work, how do I know?
Yeah,
so that's why I built in the site, the ability to comment and things like that. So let us know if you have any issues. I don't think so, though. I mean, you use the site every day, so it should be fine.
I like it. We didn't do losers.
We didn't. I do have a super chat real quick.
Go.
Grimsby, thank you so much. Liam Ryan does the best big hits. Thoughts? He actually surprisingly is good at the old big hit.
Yeah.
Remember he crunched Maynard in the grand final?
Yeah, he did.
That was iconic.
He's got a bit of a, you remember Byron Pickett? Who would just, like, didn't look like the biggest guy going around. I mean, he did have...
thick.
He is thick, yeah.
He's like Cozzy.
Yeah, true.
You don't want to get hit by Byron Pickett.
Yeah, Cozzy's the same, actually.
Yeah.
Just like a little torpedo.
100%.
Yeah, far out. Yeah, good call.
But Liam Ryan is like much narrower, but he does get in there sometimes.
He's taller, isn't he?
Yeah.
He'd be taller than both those guys.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, definitely than Cozzy, that's for sure.
Yeah. Cozzy, like 170? I'm labouring on this. Continue.
Cozzy is, yeah. Well, no, that was just the super chat there.
So you're losers.
Losers.
I've got two.
Yeah, I have two. I think the biggest one is Adelaide.
Yeah, so we just go on the corresponding fixtures of the winners.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Port get it because it's a showdown. Like, and the Adelaide lose it probably more so because the lost opportunity to finish in the top four or to move into the top four.
Yeah, that's what I love about the Port win though, because there was nothing in that game for them other than to fuck Adelaide over.
It's just shithousery.
Pure shithousery.
It's a great win.
Yeah, I love that. And they did it in style too. So I would agree. What about Sydney?
You could say that. I kind of look at it as they still have points clear in second, and they went to a tough trip and lost away. I don't know if I'd rank that highly as a loss. Would have been nicer to be a bit closer, but I don't think this like really derails much in comparison to Adelaide. I think it hurt more.
I have a different opinion on that. I think the wheels are starting to come off a little bit for Sydney. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't like in isolation. I've got no issues with losing to Brisbane at the Gabba. Like it's not a bad loss, but
it's a body of work thing.
I think it's a body of work thing. I think you're starting to see this. We've been talking about it for a long time. Like, does this like handball meters gained, chain up through the corridor? Like, is there a plan B? And I think evidently there might not be a plan B. So like, I hope Dean Cox has something up his sleeve, but I don't know as I trust him.
Interesting. I suppose we'll talk more about that game when we get to it shortly. I will throw in one other loser, the Essendon Footy Club. I just think I'm not gonna be too scathing on it because I know where they're at. And
fuck them.
But they don't have many winnable games left for the season, and I suppose they did well to get within a few goals of a team that's one win off fourth, Dylan. But anytime like a 4 points like that goes begging, they're in the situation my club was in last year. It's like, oh, that one does hurt.
I suppose you could paint it as they only lost by, what was the margin in the end?
I don't know.
A couple of goals, I think.
Yeah.
Like it was actually pretty close, but
they 14 points.
They weren't really ever in that game.
That's true.
It was a bit of the same last time we played them earlier in the season. Like we dominated the game and they kind of came late, but yeah, they were poor. And I think like reading the tea leaves with their supporters and being on, social media and Twitter and stuff and kind of just getting the feedback from everyone, it felt like Essendon fans were really upset with that performance.
Yeah, fair enough. It is a missed opportunity. Monkey Man says, he's just become a member for 2 months. Thank you, Monkey Man.
Monkey.
Appreciate your support. Dylan, thoughts on Will Day? Know you love him.
You're an Arsenal fan, Monkey Man, so I don't know if I'll answer this. No, just kidding. Will Day. Well, we'll get to the Hawthorn game, but what a player.
Yeah.
What an unbelievable player. The only thing that would have made that performance a bit better the other night against GWS was if he kicked that. Remember that goal where he's like he gets called for running too far and smashes it through. Like he's just absolute quality.
True.
Maybe going a little bit too far ahead here, but they're probably my Premiership favourites.
Ooh,
did I tip them to win the Premiership in our
mid-season
predictor?
Yeah, I reckon you did actually.
I feel like I tipped them to make the grand final at least.
I think you might have. A few people nominating loser of the week could have easily been the Gold Coast Suns. I think that's actually valid. I know they lost to Fremantle.
Are they just too much of a sinking ship at this point, though?
Maybe.
Maybe.
This does feel like a bit of a new low, like their second lowest score of all time.
Yeah.
I had a look on Squiggle Predictor, right? So Squiggle I use for my Just the Tips videos, and it gives you the live updating ladder, but it also has an algorithm that will predict the rest of the season. So take it with a massive grain of salt. It's just like an algorithm.
Sure.
But Gold Coast in the bottom 4 was the prediction by the end of the season.
In the bottom 4?
Bottom 4. Go look
I'm like...
Yeah. Squiggle.com.au. Obviously take it with a grain of salt, but they're obviously doing some sort of statistical analysis that's led them to the conclusion that Gold Coast will finish in the bottom 4.
I mean, they're pretty rudderless at the moment.
They are at the moment, yeah.
It's crazy.
It's been a while since they had 4 points.
Can you imagine? Like, I reckon every preseason prediction that I saw of the Gold Coast Suns had them in the top 4.
Yeah.
Then they come out in the first month of the season. They dominate.
Imagine they finish bottom 4 after that.
Fuck me.
Yeah. That's crazy.
They can't though, can they? They can't get below like a Port Adelaide.
Yeah. I need to go through the ladder predictor myself to determine whether I agree. But at the moment, like, who are you tipping them against? The bottom 3, and that's it.
Yeah, so you'd have to have, I suppose, I imagine Squiggles taking that into consideration. I mean, that was one of the things again, like, so last year, Gold Coast had a really, really easy draw. It's a bit of a similar thing to North this year.
Yeah.
You know it's going to get more difficult for you this year. Like, they haven't been able to come up against that at all. They needed those easy kills from last year. It's almost like last year set them up for this year.
Set them up how?
In the sense that they got it too easy last year.
Right.
And they thought it was just going to roll on.
Yeah, perhaps.
Conditioned them poorly.
Perhaps you're right. Great Wall of Jimby says, Jesse, surely the Eagles bring in Franco this week. I would support that. He's been dominating the waffle.
I can't say I've watched the waffle, but I've seen that he's racking them up.
Yeah, he's racking them up. I think there's an opportunity to bring him in for Yo or something like that.
Rogue Wright says, been a while since they've had 4 points. Here come the Pies to give it to them. Do you think this? I've actually seen this is a bit of the pessimistic side of Collingwood fans coming out. They're looking at that and they're worried.
Where's the game in Queensland?
I think so.
That's a tough one.
I think so.
Oh,
Collingwood don't like.
It's a tough one.
They don't like a trip.
No, I think they're fairly robust away from home. Robust. Are they poor outside of Victoria? I don't know if that's actually true.
I don't think.
I think they travel well.
I don't think they necessarily are. It's just a new phenomenon to them. We don't know, Jesse.
Yeah.
We don't know what
Not
they're
enough
like.
data. Yeah. I think we can expect a close game here, and if it's a close game, Collingwood are absolutely a chance. I reckon it's 50-50.
See, I thought you were going the other way. I thought you would have said that bottom 4 Gold Coast won't get near.
I don't know if you can discount the Suns.
That's squiggle.
Yeah, that's true. You can't just extrapolate squiggle too much. I do think that on quality, Gold Coast should have them covered, but you also like the average performance from Collingwood right now is better than Gold Coast's, but Gold Coast's potential is much higher. So,
of course,
I think it's 50-50.
I still can't quite fucking figure out how Noah Anderson and Matt Rao can't win a clearance.
I know. It's funny.
It's perplexing.
Imagine saying before round 10 that by round 17, Carlton would be tied with Gold Coast on the ladder. That's a great call.
I read somewhere that somebody said that Essendon should go after Damien Hardwick as their next coach.
Man, that would be a bad look for Hardwick if he jumped ship.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I know it's his old club.
As if he would, though.
He was a premiership player there, wasn't he, Essendon?
Yeah, would that have been
2000.
Ah, 2000. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I was thinking 93.
No, not quite. I don't think so. No, 2000.
Yeah.
Because he was a Port premiership player in 04 as well. I think that would be, first reaction was that'd be a terrible look for Hardwick. Doesn't mean Essendon shouldn't go for it. But I don't know. Like, how would you feel? I know it's Hardwick, but how would you feel if this guy just went over to rebuild the Gold Coast Suns and then left after 2 years or whatever?
And went to Essendon, who were like a massive basket case as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of a weird one.
No, I think Hardwick would stick it through.
We'll jump into the games. We're going to start way back. Oh, you've got something to do.
I do have a plug.
You've got a little...
Yep.
You've got a thing.
I'm going to shout out bets.com.au, who provide game previews and predictions that are statistically and analytically driven, completely free, and also let you know which Aussie bookmakers are providing the best odds on the selected markets. We also have a stream on Thursday again.
Oh, we do.
We do. So let's quickly let people know that Geelong versus the Brisbane Lions at GMHBA, I think. I think it is. I'll double check that.
Well, they were at the Gabba last week.
Yeah,
so that checks out.
It's whether it's the G. They usually play these games at a GMHBA. It is confirmed to be GMHBA. So I reckon the Brisbane Lions touched them up there last year, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, and Geelong touched Brisbane up this year at the Gabba.
Yeah, but we had that same conversation in the Sydney game because Sydney touched up Brisbane.
We should stop
at the
saying
SCG.
touched up.
Yeah, there's been a lot of touching and groping and.
Oh, you added that one.
Yeah,
you added that one.
I added that one.
Yeah,
huge game though.
Yeah, great game. So we will be live right here on the True Footy YouTube channel.
Would you say that in that game, Geelong versus Brisbane, that the winner has the front seat for the top four?
Looking at the ladder, yeah. Well, the one will go 4 points clear of the other.
Yeah, I know. I knew when you checked that it wasn't going to go anywhere.
It's a big game. Brisbane in fifth is huge.
And that'll be brought to you, that live stream, by BenQ.
It will.
And the TK705 STI.
We've really nailed that one.
We have.
Yeah.
I remember the name. It was a tricky one to get, and now we've got it. That'll be up there on the wall. That's going to be a lot of fun. We'll go into the Thursday night game that we did live stream, Jesse. Brisbane defeated Sydney 126 to 83 points. This was an absolute cruise control performance by the Brisbane Lions. And I have 3 words for you.
Ball
I teed this
equity.
up. Ball use.
It was
actually no.
Oh,
Of course not.
because it's in my notes still.
Of course
It's
not.
in my notes.
It was Brisbane are back.
Okay.
Brisbane are back. Bailey, Rayner, Lohman. We have a new premiership contender. And it
Yes.
starts now.
Yeah, it's funny to be saying that about the back-to-back premiers.
It is, yeah.
A
It's
new
ridiculous.
premiership contender. Yeah, but it works. It works for the title. They were dominant, weren't they? It seemed like the Brisbane of old. They smashed them at stoppage, which is where we predicted the game would be won if Brisbane won. And obviously on turnover is where Sydney would win. But they generated 38 shots to 24. And they scored 50% of their inside 50s. So very clinical performance.
Clinical performance, and one where if you like juxtapose it against the round 1 game where they lost by about as much as they won this time, Brisbane, for me, they just brought an intensity to this game. They brought the heat. If you look at all of the metrics, right? So Sydney loved that Ford handball game, and they still did it in this game. If you look at the numbers, in round 1, they had 633 metres gained by hand. In this one, they had 722. So almost 100 more metres they were able to gain, but they just weren't able to get that quality. So Brisbane laid 62 tackles to 45 from the last game. This is comparing the two rounds, round 16 to round 1. 62 versus 45. They had 75 intercept possessions versus 62 in that previous game.
Yep.
Guess how many scores from turnover Brisbane had in game 1 to game 2?
That's so hard.
Yeah, you're not supposed to answer it. They had in this game, 80 points they scored from
Wow,
turnover,
that's
and
enormous.
31 in the previous game.
Wow. Can you name the team that had more from turnover this weekend?
Random segue. I do know this
Okay.
because someone had an enormous score.
Yeah. Let's put a pin in that. Wait till the game.
Yeah, keep going. So I reckon what they did here, Brisbane, is they cut. Again, we always have this thing where I get stuck on cut the snake off at the head.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cut the steak off the head.
Cut the serpent off at the head.
Yeah.
But this is the lizard.
Okay.
They cut the lizard off at the head.
Yes.
Nick Blakey.
Do they regenerate their heads though? Maybe this is a great
What
omen.
animal does that?
I swear.
No, the tails.
No, it's their tails.
The tail regenerates.
We know.
The
We know.
head- Yeah, they grow a new brain.
That's chickens.
So, round 1,
Yeah.
the lizard against Brisbane, he has 25 disposals, 600 metres gained at 90% disposal efficiency. In round 16, he has 19 disposals, 500 metres gained at 63% disposal efficiency. So he's dropped 30% on his disposal efficiency. So they just got after him. They made it really difficult for him to use the ball. And that's, for me, the biggest difference in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Actually, looking at the numbers, it was fairly even in terms of the contest around the ground. So it was 144, 142 Sydney's way. They actually won that by 2. They actually won ground balls and intercept possessions, I believe.
So this is the question, and this is what I posed to you just before. If Sydney can't play the way that they want to play, what do they do?
That's a great question. They don't have the same ability to change gears like other clubs do, like a Fremantle or a Brisbane.
Well, like a Fremantle, I think their game, like almost the way that they play is it's a sort of safer brand anyway. So they're not going to get scored against as heavily because they protect the defense. But Sydney play this very high octane offense, and it's like if you're not getting that scoreboard return for yourself on offense, you're going to get hurt. Like you're naturally going to get hurt because the ball's going to turn over and go the other way.
I have a question for you though.
Okay.
Is the powder dry? We use this excuse for Geelong. I say we, I mean you.
Oh, we did.
Yes. No, I think, though, there isn't the demonstrated ability by Sydney at all to do that yet.
Well, the thing that you had with Geelong, you had evidence in previous games where like they've done moves that they can use on them. Yeah. Whereas I feel like what's Sydney's evidence in previous games?
They're just secretly dominant from stoppage.
Yeah.
I was being facetious.
Yes,
yeah. No,
yes.
I actually agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
The other, like, if I was to look at Sydney, ground ball in the forward 50, currently Papley is out of the team, right? That's a big hole. And I think it's starting to rear its ugly head. So in this game, if you look at the forward players, Logan McDonald had the most ground ball gets inside forward 50 in this game. He had 4. Charlie Curnow had 2. Malcolm Roses Jr. had 1. And Amati had none.
That's damning.
That's damning. So even if they bring the ball to ground, the Swans, they're not getting the return.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point. Bonk Choi is in the chat. He says, as a Swan fan, we've had our defensive woes in the past few weeks, but we really had a one-off with such bad skill errors. Like Grundy was flustered giving away 4 frees in the middle.
Yeah.
Our regular elite kickers had so many clangers. Not worried, so easily fixable as long as we also bring back our defensive work rate. Well, that is something that could return in September if it's not there now.
Yeah, from a defense, I think like their defensive profile's been off for a little bit. So I agree with that. The only thing is like when coming into these finals games, and this comes down to the game plan thing because Sydney's game plan is so reliant on ball use. So he's saying that they had terrible disposal. Why did they have terrible disposal? Brisbane brought the heat.
Yeah, definitely. Like Dunkley was breathing down Heaney's neck all night.
Yeah.
I think he had a really good game.
When teams coming into finals, we know that pressure always goes up coming into finals. It's just a intensity in the air.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That would be we know Brisbane can do it.
Yeah.
So it just remains to be seen about Sydney. We also have a little lack of trust for them in finals, or at least big finals. Sasquatch Freo says, came for the Venezuela coverage, stayed for the elite football analysis. Do you remember? I sent you a screenshot during the week.
What the fuck was that? What was that?
So Joycey, former co-host on the True Footy YouTube channel, co-founder actually, he sent me this AI screenshot of one of our videos, the reaction videos, and it's us going like that. Yeah. But he had AI edited it to be like reacting to the US invasion of Venezuela. And he's like, what's this? And then I sent it to you.
So that wasn't real?
No, of course not.
Just checking.
That was a YouTube glitch.
Just checking.
Crazy.
Where are Sydney in your current Premiership rankings?
It's blurry, isn't it?
They're not second anymore, are they?
Well, I still think that they're probably like as good a chance as anyone to make the grand final. If they finish top 2,
it helps,
and they get 2 home finals, then they're probably there in the last weekend in September.
They're probably in the grand final.
I think so.
If they finish top 2.
Yeah. Yeah, really? You get such a leg up. Two finals at the SCG. Who would they currently play? They would play Hawthorn, I reckon.
Hawthorn or Brisbane.
Well, if Brisbane finish 3rd and play the SCG, that's probably the least desirable outcome for the Sydney Swans. But if it's current ladder, you'd maybe go Sydney into who would it be? Oh, Geelong in the prelim. You play two home finals at the SCG, there'd be a chance to win those. I don't think they'd beat Fremantle in the grand final.
You reckon Geelong make a prelim?
Well, they're currently 4th, so if you just literally look at the top 4, but if Geelong slided to 5th, that changes dramatically.
Yeah.
There is a big buffer between 4th and 5th. I know Brisbane won the flag from there, but you really would rather be 4th.
You would. I don't know. I feel like them against Brisbane and Hawthorn, I struggle to see them winning.
Okay. Well,
but the home ground advantage is big.
Yeah.
It's a good talking point there.
You definitely don't want to be playing Brisbane in the finals. Anyone? No, like even
way.
Fremantle, who's distantly the best team in the comp right now.
They don't want to play Brisbane.
Imagine they had a week 1 qualifying final at Optus. That'd be their worst worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Right? Getting the Lions in September.
And like they're playing irresistible football. Like you can't be playing any better than they are right now. You can't be going any better.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to get a dual premiership team in the first week of finals.
Yeah.
That can give you that could put you on a collision course with death. Like you hit Brisbane in round one.
Dark.
It's dark. But like you hit Brisbane, they beat you, and then all of a sudden you're going, if we fucking lose this next game, like you'd be playing scared.
Are you talking this into existence?
Oh, maybe. No, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
They'd still be fine. They'd get like a home semi against lesser opposition. It could be Carlton.
Geelong.
Yeah. Oh, can they mathematically do that? Oh, yeah, they could. Yeah. If Geelong finished fifth.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That would derail them though, because it means they don't get the home prelim. And then they might get like a Hawthorn.
Yeah, I'd still back them in that case though.
Hawthorn in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah.
You rate them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Mm.
They're good.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of teams, I say plenty, a handful of teams have won the flag after losing the qualifying final.
Tubby Josh says Freo will win it. Everyone else is just playing for second at the moment.
It does feel like that. It does feel like that. I don't know if you can lock it in though. I don't think you can ever predict a team's going to walk through to the grand final and win it. There's plenty of things that could go wrong, but they're about as distantly favourite as I can remember a club being at this time of the year.
I think they're just their raw start to the season with like, what are they, 15-1?
14-1, I reckon, with the bye.
Well, yeah, 15 games. Yeah, that's right. I think there's only like 3 or 4 teams that have been in this situation in the last like 20 years.
True. That's true.
Which is big.
Yeah.
It's big, but you never know. I mean, you do have, I suppose, like not every year you have a back-to-back premier breathing down your neck.
Yeah, I know.
Which kind of adds in a little bit of sauciness. It's going to be a really interesting final series.
Yeah, a few clubs would have been looking over their shoulder at Richmond over those 4 years when Richmond would slide into third and win the flag.
Exactly.
Brisbane also have McCluggage, Zorko, Oscar Allen and Kitty Coleman to return to their best 23. So there is still some growth. I know that not all of those have been in great form, but still worth mentioning.
It's a scary thought though, particularly if like they get McCluggage up and running in the midfield, because like the Ashcrofts are playing pretty well.
Dunkley's coming off a good performance.
Lockie Neal's playing ridiculous football as well. And then this game was like the return. For me, the forwards were the ones that were the most exciting. Like Rayner played a really good game.
He did.
Lohman played a really good game and Bailey as well.
Yep.
So they're dangerous.
They are.
They'll match up really good against Freo as well. Shall we move on to the next game?
We shall.
Which was Hawthorn defeating the Giants 96-82. I said it before, Jesse. I think they might be just about close to my flag favourite, the Hawks at the moment. The top 3 clearance players. We've talked all season about that midfield not being strong enough to win the flag. The top 3 clearance players on the ground: Newcomb, 15 clearances; Will Day, 8 clearances; Cam McKenzie, 7 clearances. 54-30 from clearance, 15-9 centre clearance, and this is coming up against Finn Callaghan, Clayton Oliver.
Let's not glaze the Giants stoppage game,
shocking
right?
stoppage
Let's
team.
be real. They're an easy beat in terms of that part of the ground.
They are. But
it was also a perceived weakness of Hawthorn.
It was also a perceived weakness of Hawthorn. I think that midfield now with Will Day, it just it's so much. It looks so much better, not only on paper, but he just brings something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they did look good. I think the Giants actually probably outperformed my expectations. But you can't expect anything from the Giants. You just can't lock into an expectation prior to a game.
I'm out with them.
Oh, me too. I have been out, then I'm back in briefly, and then
they suck you in.
They do.
Phoenix Gothard has 30 touches, and you're like, "Ooh, I can get around this."
I don't know why I find it frustrating.
This is very annoying. But Brent Daniels comes back. He's in terrific form, and then gets injured again.
Oh yeah.
Grushevsky's now done a knee.
Yeah, how bad is that?
I think it's bad. It looks bad.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah,
out of contract too.
Out of contract. That was bad. I mean, they are just bad. I don't really know what they were doing in this game. And I glazed the Hawthorn midfield. I don't really get... So Clayton Oliver is normally the 80%. He's like their top centre bounce attendee. He had 37 in this game.
That's crazy.
37%. Finn Callaghan normally around 70%. He had 40. And then Toby Bedford went in for 73%. Toby Green had 50, who was the second highest. And Lockie Ash went in. So... I imagine Toby Bedford, there was an element of like playing a defensive role in there.
Yeah.
Lockie Ash is just a bit of a random one. Like he doesn't really go in there normally. That just seems like just some craziness.
Yeah, against West Coast and against Gold Coast, the other 2 times he spent major minutes in the midfield, that was a bit of a random one. What's the explanation for that?
Desperation.
Yeah, do you think it's a little bit of testing out the list, see what we got? Season's over.
I guess so.
After that loss to Carlton, that probably was season over for them.
Experimentation mode. Yeah, 100%. So 66-30 from turnover, 34-12 from back half, and 16 intercept marks to 9 in favour of the Giants. So they had that turnover game going, but there was just no front half game from them. It was just all counterpunch. They lost in the midfield, and it pretty much went from there.
Technic Brisbane says Hawthorn were number 18 scores from centre stoppage before Will Day, now number 2 since his return. From 18th to 2. Obviously a smaller sample size, but that's still a pretty significant uptick.
That's what he brings, Will Day. Like, he just does so many... like, when he gets the ball and, like, he can run and use his athleticism, like, he looks absolutely crazily good. He uses the ball so well, but he does a ton of stuff just around the stoppage with, like, making little blocks, like knocking on the ball, using his limbs and, like, just tapping the ball into space for, like, a Newcomb or one of the small forwards to get involved. Like, he just does so many different things. He's such a smart player, a leader out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get a soundbite. Why Hawthorn now your premiership favourite over a Fremantle?
I think I look back to the game that when they played them earlier in the season, and I think there were, like, periods in that game where Fremantle were unable to stop their ball movement, the silky skills, the way that they can make the field a little bit bigger. I do think that as good as the Dockers have been and as electrifying as they are in contested situations, they're a little bit straight line still. They play a lot of long down the line kicking. They kick to Tracy and then they try to get, like, speed off the next contest. It's working for them at the moment. I think Hawthorn have the best back six in the competition, pound for pound, player for player. They have that. They'll be able to stop them and they'll be able to do more on the ball. And bringing Will Day back into the lineup is the X factor that this Hawthorn team needs and the confidence they need to deliver that knockout blow.
Potentially. Will Day does seem to be a big variable in the way they play, but I don't know. I think Fremantle's game might be more suited to September action.
More contested. More contested.
Yeah. What is it, like, a factor that people don't talk about, though, is if they play in a grand final, it's Hawthorn's home game.
Yeah.
When it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Well, let's not go down that rabbit hole, but that's a little factor, right? The non-Victorian teams do have to play away grand finals, even when they finish first. I'm not bitter. I don't know why you said that. Or you didn't, but I can tell you're about to.
Yes. No, didn't say anything. Linko says Will Day is overrated, Jesse.
I don't know if he's overrated. I don't know. I sit next to you and you love Will Day. So I hear it a lot. Do Hawks fans maybe glaze him too much?
Maybe. I mean, he's been injured a lot.
Exactly. It's hard to really get a read on that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have any accolades probably because of that.
Yeah.
Because of those injuries, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't know. I think he's kind of rated accordingly. I think he's when he plays, he's unbelievably good.
Yeah.
He hasn't taken long to get back into the stride of things.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and that's not for the first time.
Yeah, like he comes back and he's just brilliant, and then he generally gets injured in the next 5 games. So I really hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
it'll ruin this prediction. The Great Wall of Jinby says if Will Day can stay healthy the whole way through to the finals, I reckon the Hawks could still be flag favourites, and I agree.
Kane says Freo's late finals experience or recent finals experience is concerning. I don't know. There's a very small sample size there. They've had a win against the Bulldogs. They lost to Collingwood and then they lost at Gold Coast. I don't know if that's... like, if you looked at the Brisbane Lions for their first few years of making finals, those were horrific results.
Yeah, it was a talking point.
Yeah, I don't actually think it really correlates with eventual success. Brisbane became an amazing finals team.
Well, right? You just win your way out of it.
That's right.
My take on those things. So, like, you just get new opportunities. The only thing is that they will have to deal with the expectation when the finals comes around. So, like, you obviously you have to win your way out of it. They'll have to do that. And I do agree with the notion that, like, their in-season form doesn't help them in the finals.
Yeah,
like they kind of do have to start from scratch on some level when they get there. Yeah, was it a little one?
I don't know.
I thought you did a little one there.
Might have done a voice break. Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Jacob Richardson says classic deal to use a game 301 as a reason Hawthorn are better than them. That's so true.
That is so true. That was odd.
Oh, do you remember though? We were together watching that game, and even you said a few times, you're like Hawthorn are just like the quality.
Yeah, I thought they were too good.
Yeah.
But then it was a Fremantle avalanche after I said that, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They play different styles.
Totally.
They play different styles.
Totally.
Who's got a better backline?
Run me through Hawthorn's back six. You got Barris, Battle, Sicily. You've got Hardwick.
You got Hardwick.
Who am I missing?
Well, then you got the Smalls, Impey,
Amon.
You could throw like a Scrimshaw.
Weddle plays back now.
Weddle plays back.
Scrimshaw is a good one. Okay, that's pretty hard to beat.
Yep.
Pierce, Cox.
Sounds
painful.
you make that joke every time.
But I never say it enough on stream. Pierce, Cox. McVee.
Yep, McVee.
Jordan Clark.
Jordan Clark.
Warner. Carl Warner. He's actually pretty good.
He's decent. It's not as good though, is it?
No. I think Pierce and Cox are a little bit underrated as a duo.
They probably are.
McVee is okay. Jordan Clark is reigning All-Australian.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe you'd say Hawthorn's
Who's
bat
the other? I suppose I'm thinking.
Heath Chapman.
Chapman's the other one. I was going to say Hayden Young too, but Hayden Young's more mid now.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I reckon
I might be missing someone obvious, but
Hawthorn's got a better defence.
Yeah,
absolutely. As far as like contested ball winning mids, it's definitely Freo. Clearly, like your Sarong, your Brayshaw, your Young. Murphy Reid goes in there. Bolton.
Let's throw in Luke Jackson on top of this as well.
Jackson's a way better ruck than anything that Hawthorn have. Hawthorn would be just hoping to break even there.
Yeah.
I reckon Hawthorn have a better small forward brigade, and I reckon Hawthorn, then I reckon Freo have better keys.
Yeah.
But that's why they play the way that they play.
But if Hawthorn have a better small forward mix, it's only edging Fremantle when you consider Bolton. Are you laughing at the word edging?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I was.
Okay. When you consider Bolton, Murphy Reid, Switkowski and Dudley.
Yeah, I suppose you can't have it in a way like with that though. You can't have it both ways because you can't include Bolton and Reid in the midfield group and then also as forwards. Didn't
we do that thing though during the midfield ranking video where you were saying you have to include the forwards?
Well, you do in a midfield ranking, in a ranking.
Sure.
If they play there.
Yeah. Okay.
Depending on their amount of like centre bounce attendances in the role. But I think from a small if you went Nick Watson's like very rare centre bounce attendee. Like he has a few. Mm-hmm. He goes in there a little bit, but he's more of a genuine small goal. Like what is he second to Coleman?
Is it that? Wow.
I think so.
Is it that?
He's kicked a ton of goals.
Let's find out exactly where that sits.
Dylan Moore's a genuine half forward player.
Yep.
Connor McDonald's a half forward player, maybe a little bit more mid as well. And Ginnivan is a forward, like he's not a mid. I think the Freo guys are more mid than a lot of those guys are more mid than forward at the moment.
Yeah, possibly. Let's find out the stats while I have it literally open in front of me. So Murphy Reid only spent 28% of time at centre bounces. Shea Bolton.
Okay, so he's quite low.
Shea Bolton on average is around the 60 over across the season. Probably like 60 to 70.
So that's a mid.
That's a fair point. Yeah, but that's still a decent amount of time forward.
Oh, that's 60% time forward.
No, it's 60% mid.
Yeah, okay.
So it's more mid than forward, yes.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yep. Or Murphy Reid's a genuine forward.
Yeah.
I'd put, if you're 60% centre bounce, I'd probably say you're more mid than forward. Actually,
yeah, you are.
Not probably,
you are.
I would.
Yeah, you literally are.
60, yeah. Correct.
Yeah. Anyway, we can probably move on.
We can move on from that. It's an interesting conversation, though. Obviously, the key position players at Freo are better.
Yeah. I would take Fremantle quite comfortably across the team. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I think I'd take the Freo squad. I'd take the Hawthorn style.
Yeah. Their style is sexy.
The style.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we move on to the next game, the big game, perhaps the most exciting game of round 16.
Yep.
All the permutations that this game created, particularly for the West Coast Eagles, they lost to Carlton 64 to 117. Jesse, talk to me about this game because I said I didn't watch your review.
Yeah, that's cool. It was a battering. I remarked during the week that the Blues love playing West Coast. They turn into prime Brazil, prime AC Milan. I've been watching a lot of soccer. They do though. They grow a leg. I think, to be fair, before anyone takes offence to that. This is probably the first time it's actually like reflected the ladder. Like Carlton are actually quite good. You know what I mean? Like the performance and the distance they put on us reflects the quality and gaps between the two teams. But in recent years, they've inflicted our worst losses. Outside of anyone but Sydney, Carlton have the best record against us of any team in the comp. So I went into this game with low expectations. It started only a little bit less bad than I was expecting. It was over a quarter time, 41-14. I think a lot of the numbers were pretty even over the next two quarters, and then Carlton edged away. And I didn't think it was weird until you did that.
Edged away.
I will say that this, I think, I can't remember if I said it on this stream. Carlton are clearly a step up in quality from any team the Eagles have played in the last couple of months. So whilst I'm not going too negative on the way we played. We got beaten by a better team. Carlton did look very organised, very quick. Ben Ainsworth was very impressive.
He was good in this
and
game.
the blend of the experienced players like Cripps and Hewitt kind of killed us, as they always do.
Yeah.
But Harry Dean, Jagger Smith did their thing. They've been doing that for a while. Well, that wasn't new in this game. Taylor Byrne played one of his best games.
Yeah.
Kicked a really nice goal. Kicked 3 for the day. And Billy Wilson also turned up in game day squad.
Yeah. Billy
He's
boy.
also a player we probably overlooked in our young point series. We never gave him a point.
He should have got a point.
He absolutely should have got a point.
Should have got a point.
Potentially a couple. We'll see.
Harry Dean, incredible.
Yeah, he's
so good.
Yeah.
He's actually so good.
Yeah.
He's one
Both
of those
players. A bunch of Carlton players have probably like surged in the last 6 weeks and have probably been short-changed on the youth point series.
Yeah. What did we give Dean?
We gave him both 3s.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon the way Dean's playing in his first year as a key defender,
it's
like
probably unprecedented. Actually,
pushing +4. Like, people don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so tapping into the you guys versus Carlton aspect of this, devil's advocate. Given that they've like fallen in, and granted that they're in a big winning streak at the moment, so they haven't, but they were coming down the ladder a little bit. They had a poor year last year, started the year really poorly this year. Wouldn't this have been the time that you guys could have heaped a bit of pressure on them? You guys have improved a lot. They're maybe coming back towards you could say.
I think that's a fair point to make, but I think if you're being honest about where Carlton are right now, they're better than they were 12 months ago.
Yeah, they are.
So there's that. We're also way better than we were 12 months ago. There was a game last year between these two sides. Carlton won by 34 points. Now, on paper, not too bad. That'll be the closest game between these two sides for 6 years. But the Carlton kicked 10 goals in the first quarter and 5 minutes. And then they just stopped.
Yeah.
So
we know they do that.
Yeah, we just have a lot of trauma against this footy club.
Yep.
Is there an argument to be made that we shouldn't be this butchered against? Yes. Yes, there is, Dylan. I think that's fair. But we have bogey sides. We have 17 of them.
You've got
is ranked 2 in that.
Particularly Sydney, right?
Yes.
Sydney like you.
Yeah. I actually posted on True AFL on Instagram the ladder of all the best to worst opponents. North Melbourne's top of the list. That's the team we perform best against.
Of course we are.
Sydney and Carlton. But in any case, I was not surprised by this. And I disagree with the general sentiment that this was a big step back for West Coast. I think they just got punched in the mouth, to use that phrase again, by a team that is far better than them.
The stats that really stood out to me, so you guys won the hitouts 40-22.
Yep.
So that's obviously the work of Bailey Williams.
Yep.
But they smashed you in clearances 48-34. So their mids just smacked you up really.
Well, that's a typical West Coast thing where we're good from, passable from centre ball up. So centre ball up, we were even in clearances. The plus 14 all came from stoppage.
Yeah. Contested possession 142-114. You're not going to win many games with that much of a differential.
Nah.
And probably the worst stat for you guys as far as a competitiveness point of view is 133 marks to 66 because under this new sort of Josh Fraser regime, that's the way Carlton have wanted to play. They're a little bit slower. They're a little bit more uncontested. They almost play in that same way that like North Melbourne do a little bit this year where they slow it down. They try to defend with the ball. And they kind of try to pick through you a little bit. And you guys obviously haven't laid a glove on them.
We haven't. The amount of times Carlton got the ball at half back and just ran it into their 50 was quite hard to watch. They were plus 100 disposals at halftime.
Shit.
They had the most disposals in a half Carlton has ever had. It was like 246 or something, 244.
Yeah, right.
At halftime. That's how little of the ball we were getting.
You're making them look like prime Brazil.
Yeah, of course. That's an element of it. But every time the ball sort of spilled loose, even if an Eagles player got there first, you'd see 3 Carlton players run up behind and run away with the ball.
Yeah, right.
It's impressive. Like they are beating up against an easy team, but they look very organised.
What do you think of this run under Josh Fraser? So wins against the Western Bulldogs, Geelong and GWS are, I guess say what you want about GWS. They did get them when GWS was sort of coming out of that nice little run that they put together. But
even that was only 2 weeks after we beat them. Well, maybe it was a bit low. Maybe it was
okay. Because they got Brisbane.
I do think the GWS
Brisbane, Melbourne, and then they got Carlton. So like it was maybe a little bit better. The Geelong wins a pretty good win. They stack up well against them. Yeah. And they got the Dogs as well in between that. So they haven't taken too many like really, really big scalps. Like they haven't got a Sydney, a Freo, a Hawthorn or a Brisbane, let's say. But the points against part of this, the defence under Josh Fraser, they're averaging under him 67.2 points against under Josh Fraser. It was 101.3 under Voss. So they've gone from the 15th ranked defence to the 2nd ranked defence in the competition. It's a big move.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've absolutely smashed it. From the eye test, it looked like we were playing a good team. Like quite a good team. That does happen every time we play, to be fair. But from the eye test, like they were a big step up from our usual opponents. We can list maybe the teams we think are clearly better than Carlton and see how long that list is. Fremantle, Sydney, Hawthorn, Geelong. I know they just beat Geelong, but I'm not going to say that they're Carlton better than Geelong. No. Brisbane right now and Adelaide.
Yes, agree.
Is that the end of the list? The next teams would be Melbourne, the Bulldogs, North, Collingwood, Gold Coast, St Kilda.
None of those teams are clearly better than them.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think that you could say that they're in the mix of that. Dogs. I think the Gold Coast are better than what they're showing.
Yeah, totally agree. But they're level on points and only 6% behind.
They're in that Melbourne, Western Bulldogs. Throw Collingwood in there. They've got a massive game coming up in the next couple of weeks against the Pies.
I think they're a fair bit better than Collingwood.
They probably are.
Yeah, right now.
I reckon they'll smash them.
Well, I was about to say that, but then I think Collingwood love playing Carlton too. They're going to beat him in the last minute.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, it'll happen.
Really? I reckon Carlton will smash them.
I would tip Carlton if it was this week. I'm being a little facetious, but I just mean I don't think Carlton will smash them.
So let's do this though. The Blues are going to get Richmond this week. That's going to be 7 in a row. No doubt. Although Richmond do like playing Carlton a little bit too. But
I feel like it's different this time.
It feels different. So they're going to get the Tigers. That's going to go 7 in a row. That's going to kind of give them actually a little bit of breathing room in the top 10. Mm-hmm. Then they're going to play Hawthorn. Tricky, but it's not. It wouldn't be crazy if they beat Hawthorn in a close game, right? We'll put that down as a loss. Then I think they play Collingwood.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They win that, they're making the top 10 for sure, right?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like they'll get there anyway, but they do currently sit out of it. In fact, they're 12th.
So what I'm trying to say is when they laughed at me, Jesse, when they laughed at me about the top 6 call, it wasn't so crazy.
Yeah, we'll see. You can't claim it yet.
I can't.
You can't. Those are the rules. We do have a super chat here from Grimsby we missed. Thank you so much. He says, can we get a little Mubby or Chol chant going?
What's a Mubby or Chol chant?
Mubby or Chol. You know, they sing that at the games.
Do they? I have no idea.
I just wanted to see if you'd do it. In the end, it was just me.
Marcus GTF says, how Carlton are playing now is realistically what they should be last year and from the beginning of this year. Voss just couldn't get that out of them anymore. Jesse.
I was reading a different comment. I'm so sorry. Where did you get that from, the chat?
Yeah, Marcus said, how Carlton are playing now is realistically what they should be last year and from the beginning of the year. Voss just couldn't get it out of them.
Yeah, possibly. I do think they have changed the way they've played, though. I do think that always takes time. And we've seen Port Adelaide in the same sort of situation.
Yeah, new coach too, though.
Yeah,
right?
new coach. That's right. But Voss was like outspoken about. Well, the Carlton were outspoken about playing a new style.
Yeah,
that was never going to happen overnight.
I wonder what this says, like bigger picture, like what this says about teams that want to shift game plan under a new coach. Like, I think we've seen significant game plan shifts from a coach like Chris Scott, right? But Chris Scott's implemented, like, for example, at the end of when he lost the grand final to Richmond, right? He went, like, they played that really control-based football.
Yeah.
And they started to move the ball a lot quicker, and then they ended up rebounding and making the 2022 grand final and winning the Premiership against Sydney.
Yep.
So the difference there is that Geelong had the evidence to change a game style off the back of making a grand final. So it's an easier sell to the players, right? Like, we're going to change our game style. We just made the grand final. Like, I'm a good coach.
Yeah.
We're just going to shift a few things and we're going to go. And they did it and they rebounded really quickly. It's difficult to change a game style off finishing 14th and then saying, like, I'm going to sell this.
There's a couple of ways to look at that, though, because, you know, if you played in a grand final and you want to change the game plan, there might be a part of you going, well, why change what's working? We got 5 goals off a premiership. And equally from 14th, you'd think it's more compelling to change the style when you'd say the list quality exceeded 14th.
I think doing it from 14th reeks of desperation.
Or is it necessary?
I mean, it's absolutely necessary, but we've seen the 2 examples of Michael Voss and Simon Goodwin that have both tried to change their game style from let's say a losing position, in that they were like outside the finals and floundering. It didn't work. They weren't able to get it out of the players, and then they quickly changed coach and bounced. Whereas the Chris Scott example, where he did it from a position, in my opinion, that was almost like ballsy. He would have gone to the players and said, I know you're only like a couple of goals off winning a grand final. We're still going to change it because we want to improve.
Yeah. Well, there's no doubt that Chris Scott has that respect as well. So,
Yeah.
like, I think they were always going to support that. You know, if Chris Scott tells you to do something,
you fucking do it. Shoe Snatch Willie, a super chat. Thank you so much, mate. Lions leapfrog Sydney to second in the betting markets.
Wow.
If they were to belt Geelong on Thursday, 40 plus points, would you have them as flag favourites? I'll hand this over to you, Jesse.
if they would belt Geelong, no, not yet. I think Fremantle deserves the favouritism right now, regardless of what happens on Thursday night. I'm not even sure Brisbane deserves second yet. But if they beat Geelong massively, perhaps I'll give them second.
Yeah. It's all like with a team like Brisbane, when you've won 2 flags in a row, like does it matter? I know, like I say that to a few things, but like it's irrelevant really. They're going to be dangerous to anyone that comes up and plays them in the finals. Yep. If they do beat Geelong by 40 plus points, does it change your opinion on them? Let's reframe it.
It does, because it's huge in the top 4 chase.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest thing for me, rather than just, if they beat, or even if they beat Fremantle by 40 points. Oh, that's probably a bad example, because that would be really compelling too. But I just mean, it's not just about beating good opposition by 40 points. It's about getting that 8-point game over Geelong. Yeah. And if they're in the top 4, then
it's all about finishing position for them, isn't it?
That's what I'm getting at, basically.
Yeah. I guess the bigger question is, like, do you think that Brisbane can Brisbane go to Freo and win?
Oh, of course they can. It'd be silly to say that they couldn't. They're not playing, though, right? They're not playing again this year. You're talking about in the finals.
Oh, no, I'm in the finals.
Yeah, absolutely, they could.
Yeah.
You'd be silly to dismiss the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Regardless of how good Fremantle is.
I mean, it's likely. That's what I do. I love it about the Brisbane Lions being kind of in this race, because when it looked like they were struggling at the beginning of the year, you kind of like, we've sort of lost a powerful team, and now we've got more powerful teams. It feels like we've got genuinely at least 5 really good teams, maybe 6 if you include the Crows.
Yeah. I do feel like the Premiership race is a little bit weaker than usual.
Do you? I kind of don't.
I feel like Fremantle at the moment are the only Premiership quality team. I think there's caveats on everyone else.
Yeah, but aren't there always? Like, everyone's always got holes in their ballast.
Probably, yeah.
Can I say that?
I don't know what it means.
I don't even know what a ballast is. It a boat?
We're going to find out. It's still a weird thing to say, even if it is a boat.
Do you know where the word ballast comes from?
Peep show.
Peep show. Yeah,
it is. It's a heavy material device used to provide stability. Oh, man, you nailed that.
Oh, God, I'm good.
There's something in that.
We've got another super chat, Jesse, from Redback Spider. Thank you very much, Nigel. He's given us a $5 donation and says, in regards to Brisbane, it's a complete market overreaction.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's where you're at.
Yeah. Well, it's not so much that I don't think they're capable, but it is a bit knee-jerk. It is a bit knee-jerk.
I guess it's not like they don't go like, oh, we're going to.
I heard that.
Damn it. I felt I was so close to getting away with that.
No, not at all.
Damn it. James Workshop AU says Freo are relatively untested in finals. They could crumble under the pressure of their current form and expectations come finals.
I mean, yeah, we could speculate about that all day, and I think we have like 3 times in this stream. That's fair enough take, but I don't share it, but we won't find out till September.
I don't share that either. I probably disagree with you though that it's not a strong premiership race.
Okay. I'd have to put more thought into that. That's my feeling. But like after an analysis of like where we were sitting last year, I might feel differently.
But Brisbane weren't in the top 4 last year, right?
No.
At this point?
Last year?
Yeah, I don't reckon they were. Like they finished in the top 4.
I can't remember now.
They had to come hard. They had to come hard.
I heard you. Yes. On that note, I'm going to leave you with that absolute stinker and I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Oh, dear. That's good stuff. We'll get to the next game soon when Jesse gets back from Tinkle or Stinkle. Linko 37 says, Bont, Heaney, Dacos, Cozzy, Holmes, Smith, Jackson, Butters, Petrarca, Jeremy Cameron, Dawson, Nass, Anderson, Gawn, Grundy, Callahan. I thought there was going to be a question in there somewhere and there's not. You're just having a conversation. Rogie says, all it took for Carlton to be good was to put a Collingwood guy there. Let's ignore the first time. So that's true, isn't it? Josh Fraser. It's a Collingwood man. I never even thought about that. They just needed a Collingwood flavour. They'll hate that. Rogie. Duve5538 says, as a Pies supporter, I've always thought Newcomb is so underrated. Wish we had a clearance specialist player like him. He is really good, isn't he? Like, he's probably never going to be considered that like absolute all-round dominant midfielder because there's some things that he's just not that good at. But as far as just winning the ball from stoppages, contested possession, that kind of thing, the inside stuff, the grunt work, there's probably no one better in the competition. You just need other players to balance him out. I think that's why like a Will Day becomes so important for Hawthorn because you've got that, and that maybe more so even last year when they were Warple, they were Newcomb, they had a lot of those really inside guys. You need the kind of the outside class and the speed to sort of level those players out. Like he probably never will be like a Dacos or a Heaney or a Bontempelli type player, but he's bloody good at what he does. At Footy Lux says, it's not a true footy stream without Jesse going to the bathroom. It's so true. It would actually be, at this point, it would actually be so weird. James Workshop AU says, Dill, are you beating us in Adelaide this Sunday? I spoke to my dad about this earlier today. He said, what are our chances? He's a North fan too. And I said, we've got no chance at beating Port Adelaide in Adelaide. What are your thoughts on that, Jesse?
I missed it.
I've just been asked if North Melbourne have any chance at beating Port Adelaide in Adelaide this week.
You wouldn't tip it.
I think no chance.
Yeah, I feel like things are very different from round 1, aren't they?
I think they'll pump us, to be honest.
Wow.
Tubby Josh 73526 says, will Newcomb go down as the best mid-season pick of all time?
Yeah, well, it's a small sample size, but clearly number 1 at the moment.
Just about, isn't he?
I'm trying to think. Durham is another good one.
Durham's a good one, but Newcomb's better.
Hugo Hawke-Ahn, maybe.
Could
he surpass Newcomb? Too early to say, but
Max Hall.
Yeah, looking good. No, Newcomb's clearly number 1.
Josh Tracy wasn't mid-season, was he?
No, he was rookie draft, I reckon.
Yeah. It's probably, well, yeah. Will he go down as the best of all time?
Oh,
yes.
yeah, sure.
Yep, that'll do.
Rogie says, do you think umps having access to the stats will mean we'll see less rail 3-vote 14-touch games? I think that is exactly what that's in there to reduce, right?
It will remove that.
Horn Francis 13 and 6 clangers 3 votes.
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll remove that. Does this is always a conversation in the Brownlow. Like, does that make it better or worse?
Better. If you eliminate the stinkers. But the issue is that it's probably going to create more problems as every rule change does. There'll be some other like effect. But I mean, I remember Neil getting 23 disposals, getting 3 votes, and Charlie Cameron kicked 7 that day and didn't get a vote. That seemed off. I don't know how the umps missed that.
Yeah, it's like, will they just come in and look at the stats? I mean, they have some meeting anyway, right, between all of the umpires.
Yeah. I think that can be. Well, I'd imagine that's kind of a bit of a casual one. Well, I thought Real was good. Yeah, he was actually. Yeah,
you did.
You got me. You got me there.
Good speed.
Rogi says that Wheelo, ESPN, AFL.com all have Nick Dacos 8 votes or 7 or 8 votes clear on top. Wow, that's surprising me a bit.
He's going to poll well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to poll well. I didn't think he was that far ahead. Wow.
Does anyone have a chance at beating him?
Well, I think when I last looked, like a lot of the top contenders were like Heaney and Bont, and I don't think those guys will be polling votes lately. And Butters. No. Butters might have picked up some, but
yeah, Butters would have got 3 at the weekend.
Yeah, God, imagine Butters wins the Brownlow and leaves.
That'd be so
I don't think it'll happen, but like
Dawson,
because you might have already requested a trade by then.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably.
Or free agency.
Bailey Smith, Dawson would be others.
Yeah.
Dacos is the obvious one.
Yeah, Smith's missed a couple games.
Yeah, he has.
So yeah, I think Dacos is up there. It just remains to be seen how many votes he polls in losses because they haven't won as many games this year.
Do you think someone like with the stats and everything? Do you think someone like the Wizard could?
Oh nah, not quite.
Did you find out where he was in the Coleman?
No, I didn't. I got distracted. Forgive me. I don't know if it's so against their nature to give votes to goal kickers. Even with stats, I'd be surprised. He is equal second in the Coleman.
Yep. That's fairly impressive.
It is, yeah. No, it
for a small forward.
Yeah, so you got King on 43, then you have Cameron, Curnow and Watson all on 39. You have Logan Morris rounding out the top 5.
Interesting. Paul Catogio, 8520. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. Dylan, would you have Weitering at North Melbourne? Bloody oath.
We just did a video on this.
We just did a video on this. We've done a trades video again.
We love them.
There's some genuine connection of Weitering to North Melbourne at the moment actually being reported on.
Yep. They've at least asked the question.
They've asked the question. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the resurgence of Carlton might nip this one in the bud pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that we were going to benefit from their demise and we're going to be able to pick up a player like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It forces clubs to make those harder decisions.
Yeah. They might have been okay with it. I think even like pundits like David King were sort of saying like Carlton should trade him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with where it looked at 1 and 8, you look at their list and you think that's the one guy with genuine currency.
Yeah.
And if they're going to roll over their list in an aggressive manner, then it's a genuine conversation. I don't think that conversation exists in the same way anymore.
No, it doesn't. We'll move on to Collingwood and Richmond. The Pies won this one by 34 points.
Speaking of Brownlow Dacos.
What did he do in this game? I've got 37 disposals and 3 goals.
I've got 178 game day squad points. That's enormous.
That is enormous.
By the way, as a side note, Newcomb is third in the equal second actually on AFL.com.au Brownlow predictor. Yeah, so just to name another contender there.
Huge.
Yeah,
that's huge. He's had some big games.
Yep.
So Dacos in this game, I think he had something like his fourth quarter in this game was like 13 rating points.
That's insane.
In the quarter alone.
Because for reference, 13 times 4 is 52. And I remember Hoyne saying like, you get a few times a year where somebody gets 30. Like it's not unheard of, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to do that 4 times and get 52, that'd be the greatest performance of all time.
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
It is against Richmond, but...
It's against Richmond, and there's been players getting like some enormous numbers against Richmond lately.
Yeah.
They did actually win contested possession and clearance in this game, but Collingwood scored, and I think I'm getting this right, 91 to 33 from turnover.
Rogi, 20 months just became... Am I reading that correctly, Rogi? Please confirm. Did you become a member for 20 months? Because that's obscene. Thank you so much. Or is it saying he has been a member for 20 months? Because I don't think that number works out.
I do not know.
Thank you so much.
He asks a question.
You're a very generous man.
Where does Jordan De Goey rank in the comp on current form?
Ooh.
It's a good question.
Oh, that's so hard to like rank him in the comp.
Yeah.
I want to give a good answer here because of the generosity, but
I want to give a great answer.
I don't know how to frame it. He's having great form. He's always kind of been that impact player without always doing it for a long period of time.
I mean, like De Goey feels like one of those players to me that you just want to, like in the regular season, you just want to keep them purring, just ticking. I want to say purring, not like hitting their peak. You just want him to be playing decent football.
Yeah.
Not getting injured, staying as consistent as possible for this launch on the finals, and you're always going to get the best out of Jordan De Goey in a big final series. I feel the same about guys like Cam Rayner as well. They don't tend to have that week in, week out consistent football, but you're saving them for the big finals when they can break a couple of big tackles and really just open up the game for you. De Goey is that player. I would still put him in the top handful of players that I would want in a big game to win me the game.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just looking at his numbers across the season. You have to go back quite a while to find a game that he's quite down. I think round 5 against the Dockers, without knowing off the top of my head, I'm going to say he was injured with 6 disposals because he missed the following game. Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, you have a 3 and 18, a 2 and 18, and then you have some 30s, 29, 25, 30. So yeah, that is quite consistent. He's racking up marks, he's laying tackles and hitting the scoreboard as well. So that's a pretty decent body of work.
Redback Spider says, Jordan De Goey obviously playing for a contract somewhere. Is he in a contract year?
Good question.
That'd be interesting to know.
No, end of next year. According to footywire.com.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, like I suppose he probably needs to have, like with where Collingwood are at, he probably needs to start having a bit of a run in where he starts to pick up. But you go to 2023, he was a big reason that they won the Premiership in 2023. His moments were a big reason that they won that grand final. Bringing it back to the question of where he ranks in the competition, I mean, is he a top 50 player anymore?
De Goey?
Yeah.
Probably on ability. But when you do rankings like that, you consider like consistency as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's hard off the top of the head.
Yep.
No, I won't dismiss it, but there's a lot of good players in at 50.
Who would you have? And I'm changing the subject a little bit. Like an up and come, like sort of an emerging player. He's in his mid-20s and he's sort of finally gone to like probably a top level this year. It's like a Justin McInerney. Who would you take out of those two?
What's the context? Am I building Tasmania or am I playing in a final series? Because that's...
This is going to be dumb because I'll say playing in a final series and you'll go Jordan De Goey, and I'll say building Tasmania and you go Justin McInerney.
Exactly.
You've got a round robin of 6 games. So there's some level of consistency needed.
Yeah, De Goey.
Yeah, he's a better footballer.
If you could guarantee fitness, right?
Yeah.
His body's right, De Goey.
De Goey.
Yeah. Sorry, people saying I've been a member for that long. Okay, thank you. But it's come up in big green text and I'm not really sure what that is.
Yeah.
Because I just realised I've been telling people they just became a member for 3 months, for 4 months. But really, they've just been a member for that already. So they're sitting there thinking, did I just buy 4 months of memberships? I don't know.
Interesting.
Either way, I appreciate you, Rogie.
He's been a member for that long. Yeah, absolutely. Sasquatch says, does Jesse have any interest in taking Bobby Hill at West Coast, or are there too many risks now?
It's a great question. It'll be coming up across the rest of the year, I think. I don't know enough about his situation, right? If there is a belief that being back in Western Australia could be the tonic that he needs, then I'm all for it. If there is broader questions about his commitment to the game, then you could argue certainly that the distraction is unwanted at West Coast, right? What about you, Rogie? Joycey, do you want him at Fremantle?
It's got that feeling that, like, to me, it's not the best fit with somebody that, like, with all of the stuff that's going on. I've got no idea exactly what's going on with Bobby Hill at the moment. Obviously, he's actually a perfect fit for West Coast from a talent perspective and a pure footballing ability. But it doesn't feel like the sort of player that you'd want to carry when you're trying to build a football club from the ground up, which you'll kind of do with young players and stuff. So maybe the fit's better at Freo at this point.
Just full body cringe.
Full body cringe.
Out of non-Smith medalist. As neutrals, asked Dove, I'm curious what you think Collingwood's biggest issues are. I think it's the midfield, which needs a clearance specialist to help Nick, but I'm worried they'll ignore this in the draft. I mean, the defence is rock solid. Collingwood. So it'd be, I'd say midfield, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, they just...
And forwards.
they kind of just need young talent in general, a team like Collingwood. I think there's been a vacancy, like there's a vacuum of the last few drafts getting in top-level talent. I think they probably had some like decent, maybe later first-round picks a few years ago with like Di Mattia. He would have been first round.
Top 25, top
just
30.
Just
he might have been like pick 28 or something.
Yeah, so that they just haven't got that kind of conveyor belt of players coming through that they can like blood in and play games. Like Swadlings looked all right, but they do need some real prime movers. I would definitely say midfield. You could probably make an argument they still need some small forwards too, right? Some front half.
Yeah, without Bobby.
Yeah.
I think
Jamie Elliott's
a bit of a blank canvas, I think, in terms of drafting. Like, just go best available talent in this year's draft.
Absolutely.
But, midfield numbers are pretty down. Like, in this game that we're discussing, sort of, Richmond butchered them in a lot of those key stats, but they smashed them from turnover. So to go back to the quiz, Collingwood was the team that scored more points from turnover this weekend. They scored 91
points from
but
turnover.
one goal from stoppage or something like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean,
you
Swadling,
don't want to be that lopsided. I obviously think they don't prioritise winning the clearance that much strategically, but you don't want to be that deficient.
You can just imagine too, like them playing against a young Richmond team. They just cut through them like butter when they win the ball back. Like that's sort of it's an easy kill. Richmond, from their perspective, they had some pretty good performances. I think like one of their biggest sadnesses of the 2026 season is they haven't been able to play a lot of young players.
Yep.
Sam Cumming, no Rising Star nomination, but 27 disposals, a game high 12 contested possession.
It's impressive.
And 4 clearances for the cum dog.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. It is good to see him getting some continuity. I was a little surprised. Who did get it? It was Ty Gallop. The Rising Star.
Ty Gallop.
Yeah.
The other one probably was Taylor Byrne that was in the mix for it.
True. Yeah, I don't think he hasn't got a nom yet.
No. Taj Houghton, 14 disposals, looked pretty good and he's kind of just working into the season. I think he's starting to put it together. Pat Retschko had 26 disposals in this game and Jasper Alger also kicked 2 goals. So you're getting, albeit not like everybody, you're not getting all the boys in there. You're not getting Sammy Lawley. You're not getting Josh Smiley in there that you want. But they're starting to get a few pieces together and bring in some of those later picks as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Alger has been a big plus this year, I reckon. By the way, Rogie did say something earlier about Billy Frampton potentially being AA squad. I'm not sure if I agree with that yet, but after 16 rounds, no one in the AFL has recorded more spoils than Frampton this year. In a depleted backline, he has got the job done. Admittedly, it's not a big kill this weekend, but still.
All-Australian squad? Like the 40?
Yeah, the 40.
Oh, yeah, it could be in the 40.
Potentially. There's a lot of key backs, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Aaliyah would have to be in the mix.
Yeah, Wilkie
would have to be in the mix. Harris Andrews would have to be in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's in, right?
Yeah.
Barris.
Yeah.
Battle.
Yeah. Well, that's 6 already.
Cox.
Potentially. Alex Pearce.
Yeah. These types of players, like...
It's competitive, isn't it?
It's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe.
Harry Dean.
Shay Mo Money, Shay Mo Problems says, Dylan, would love to hear your thoughts on Cooper Harvey and why you think Harry Sheezel isn't in All-Australian discussions or top 10 player discussions. I think he should be.
He's actually pretty high. I think he's top 10 in the Brownlow. But North and winning more, that's why.
Yeah. I like...
that is the AFL.com predictor, by the way.
I think Harry Sheezel's a really good player. Like he's a nice, like he's a cherry on top sort of player, which I suppose sounds strange because he's so consistent and he is kind of, I think like with his behaviour off field and his standards off field, he does drive the club forward and like he's such a good young leader for us. I don't know like how much I really think he impacts games a lot of the time at the moment though. Like he's hitting the scoreboard a little bit more recently. But he racks up a lot of touches. Like how many did he have in the Essendon game? Like probably
42, I think.
Probably 42. Like he has those kind of numbers, and like a lot of it is just connecting stuff. Like where he's just running, he's working really hard, and he's an option. So he's a really really good player. But I just don't think he's got like that. I think he's still like he kicks the ball often, and he kicks like those up and under kicks a little bit. Like he's not always like punching the ball low inside forward 50, always finding a target. I think he can be fumbly at times as well. He knows where to go to get the ball, so he's going to get those numbers consistently. But I don't think he does the like maybe a combination of like the final product, like the score involvement part of his game, and also like the in and under contested stuff.
Yeah,
he's a great player.
Yeah,
he's just for me not in that like
+4.
+4.
Yeah,
exactly.
+4.
What do you think about that?
I think you're pretty bang on, to be honest. I am hopeful that there will be an evolution of his game to become that.
Yeah.
Because it looked early days like he did have that real dynamic game-breaking ability. And over time, he's sort of become a little vanilla. But, yeah, these players tend to look a little bit better when the team gets better. And North has improved, but I think I'm losing confidence he'll ever be that Toby Green. You know,
Yeah.
he's a little bit more.
Doesn't play with the same physicality.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it just isn't as dangerous around goal as perhaps he looked pre-draft.
Yeah.
But
I think
agree
he
with
has.
your
I think he
sentiment.
has come a little bit of a way in that area.
Sure.
Like he's taking a few chances this year. I don't know how many goals he's kicked off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
like he's good. I'm not complaining about Harry Sheasel.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. I did just see a comment. Rogie says, Nick Dacos has currently got 93 coaches' votes, which at round 16 is the second all-time to Nat Fyfe in 2015, who had 100. Dusty has the record for a season with 122. So in record-breaking pace,
Who's that?
Dacos.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's like, he loves Brownlow votes.
Yeah.
Loves
He does,
it.
Yeah.
Well, do you reckon like there's a part like that's interesting that this is probably the year that Dacos wins the Brownlow, and it's the first year that Collingwood have been truly shit.
Yeah, so you got mitigating things of like they'll win less games, but I feel like he's been a bit more of a one-man band than ever before.
Yep.
So they sort of equal out. But yeah.
It says, what does it say about the Brownlow?
Not much. I mean, he's possibly should have won one. Was it last year? Like Rao winning was a bit of a curveball.
Rao was a curveball. He was definitely, yeah. I mean, he could have won the last two. Who won? But was it Cripps before that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this one hasn't happened yet, so it's hard to speculate on whether or not
No, it
the Brownlow's
hasn't,
cooked this year.
That's very good. We should go on to the Port Adelaide defeating Adelaide in a massive showdown. A massive showdown.
This reminded me of the Derby in 24, where we just ragged old Fremantle out of nowhere.
Oh, I remember that.
That's what this reminded me of.
Yeah.
This is probably less surprising.
Was that the
than
game
but-
where it came in? Sorry, we'll get there, Crow. Port
No,
fans.
more Eagles, please.
Yeah, was that the game where Harley came out and said like we're a bit more of a contested team?
I vaguely recall that. Yeah, I vaguely recall that.
Yeah, he's
he
up
went
there.
nuts in that game.
Yeah, he did. And he just went
Yeah.
crazy. That was his first year
Yeah.
when he was kind of
It was like game 6 or something, yeah.
Yeah, game 6. Sounds like a basketball thing. Okay, so Port Adelaide, super impressive in this game. I was really ready to jump on the Adelaide Crows bandwagon coming into this game. I think what they've put together in the last month or so has been really good. I thought they were going to be pushing for that top 4. This was a real roadblock in that. I think this is a really poor loss for them. But you can't really underestimate the performance of Port Adelaide. So good in this game. Joe Berry, he's coming as a player. Jack Whitlock is coming as a player. Stop saying coming. Butters and Horn Francis, incredible from the midfield. Arriving, coming as a player. You're starting to see those players that they've recruited and you've gone like, why have they recruited that guy? And you kind of see a bit of the quality of them, like a Josh Lai.
I think you need an apology, to offer an apology for Corey Durden with your comments throughout the off-season and the pre-season.
What did I say?
I'm basically dismissing the trade as like, that is the most Port Adelaide trade ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did say that.
To be fair, like, it was an easy kill because it did seem like a weird move. However, I'll just springboard that into a praise of Corey Durden. He's having an outstanding season. He's never kicked more than 15 goals. He kicked 23 so far this year. I think did he kick 3 or 4 on the weekend? I forget actually. But
3.
3, yeah.
I'm pretty
Did
sure.
he have one disallowed? I reckon he did.
Perhaps.
Yeah, outstanding. His speed, and like I think it speaks to good coaching that you can get a player without the profile who hasn't necessarily succeeded in another club to come in and look $1 million in a certain role. Not to take anything away from Corey, but that speaks to good coaching too.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was floundering at Carlton. He
Yes.
goes over to Port Adelaide and it's going really well. You know, Joe Richards is probably a bit of a similar one to that. Like he's playing some pretty good football
He
as
looked
well.
pretty good at Collingwood, I thought, Joe Richards.
He did.
Yeah.
And Berry. I
Yeah,
think
Berry's
we're really
he's a
starting to
gun.
see
Yeah.
Berry now. Like I was worried about him because I loved him so much in his draft year.
Yeah.
And then 2020, like his opening year was really, really slow. It was quiet. So what he's starting to put together now is really, really good. He had 2 goals in this game and 13 disposals as well. Now, the player that was missing for Adelaide here was Wayne Miller. I've talked about this a lot with them. Like they struggle to move the ball from the back half.
Yeah.
Miller is out of the side. They struggle. Is it that simple? Or do you think they just got overawed in like a big performance and came up against a team in Port Adelaide who sensed the showdown occasion and just put one on them?
Definitely a bit of everything, I think. I think there's no doubt that happened. They, after a decent run of form, Adelaide, although we'll speak to that in a minute, I think they definitely just got out-hunted from the get-go, rather. When you look at just the first possession numbers, 49 to 26, clearances, plus 20 Port Adelaide, centre clearances, plus 10 Port Adelaide, hit-outs, plus 16 as well. The expected score was a 54-point win to Port Adelaide. And if you consider 13 goals, 19 is what kept Adelaide closer in the game than the score should have been.
Yeah.
I've got some other numbers here. First of all, Georgiades as well. 3 goals, 4 again.
I didn't even mention
A
him.
little bit of a touch of the Watermans here. And I don't mean he necessarily has the yips, but this guy could easily be winning the Coleman right now. He's kicked 34 goals and 38 behinds.
Wow.
That's 72 shots at goal.
Now I know why you want to bring him to West Coast.
Yeah. We want more behinds.
We want more behinds.
We want to combine their powers.
Of course you do.
Yeah. Double our score each week. I just think overall they got pantsed, Adelaide. Over the last 5 weeks, you would have said the Crows were playing good footy. And they were. I'm not suggesting that they weren't. But interesting stat, over the last 5 weeks.
I think I said they were coming.
Yes, you did. You've used that a lot today. You've also said floundering a few times.
I was hoping nobody would pick up on that.
I did. Adelaide are bottom 3 over the last 5 weeks for shots on goal. They've had the 3rd least shots on goal in that time.
That's a bad sign.
Considering the other teams were Richmond and Essendon, and I think West Coast and North were right above that.
I mean, they're a very defensive team.
They are.
So they don't generate a ton of score, and they usually stop you from scoring. But
their efficiency kept them in this game longer than it should have, with 11-5 from 19 shots.
There was I think it was the 3rd quarter, and they were just getting absolutely ripped apart.
Yeah.
And if Port Adelaide had a kick, it was the ball hit the ground and it was just fucking chaos. Berry's there, a little man Durden, springing on the ball, picking it up, spraying it round. What am I saying?
No,
there was a lot going on.
That's good, yeah. Dwayne Russell, I grew up not liking as a commentator, but every now and then he does throw out these little gems.
Okay.
And he said Rochelle dribbles it from the pocket. He dribbles in his sleep. It's so stupid.
That's good, yeah.
It's like a shit committee.
Yeah.
But that is me as well.
You like that.
3 votes.
It's very your humour.
Yeah,
I like
it
that.
is. Dribbles in his sleep. He is good at them. As much as I am iffy about him.
At Bobby Magic Official says, question, could Berry and Durden... Oh, this is hyperbolic, I feel, from Bobby Magic. Could Berry and Durden...
Have Geelong won the war.
Could Berry and Durden be the best pure small forward duo in a couple of years? Okay, so then he said not counting Watson, Ginnivan, McDonald.
Okay, so the second best.
Yeah.
It still seems like a stretch. Not a stretch. It still seems like a stretch.
It depends how much of a dog Berry turns into.
Yeah, I mean...
If he goes full dog...
He does. But, I mean, you will still have Murphy and Bolton at Fremantle.
Yeah.
Hit me with some more. Who are the other?
I mean, Manor and Myers and Stengel.
Yeah, I mean, Manor and Myers are not so young.
They're not. So you could say like
and
the
Stengel.
What about Gothard, Daniels?
Oh, yeah.
Hannaford.
Yeah, GWS.
G-dubs. Yeah. They love a small forward combo.
Yep.
It's probably, I mean, Brisbane's...
Champion, Brockman, Noah Long.
Yes, they'll be up there too. I think that, to be honest, before I pull the trigger on that and agree with you, I'll give you Berry. Durden's playing really, really well.
You need more time with Durden.
I think I need more time with Durden.
Fair
and
enough.
I'd like that to be a combination where Durden's the 3rd best player.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. At this point to me, it's mainly Berry and Durden's just doing really well.
Dudley Reed, says Technic Prism. Question mark? I'm not sure what that's in reference to.
I guess just a combo.
Oh, yeah,
A small forward combo.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. If you exclude Murphy, Bolton, which I don't know if you would do entirely, but...
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky one. But
Curtis Doveston. It's actually not a bad shout.
Curtis Doveston?
Obviously, Doveston hasn't fired a shot yet at AFL level, but it's worthy nomination.
Is he too... Is Curtis too big... To he sort of play he doesn't really play like a small to me.
Yeah, but they include Toby Green as well in that.
He's like 6-7 centimeters shorter than Curtis though.
How tall's Curtis?
186 or something.
Yeah, okay.
Green's like 180, but
yeah, true.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think Green's like 182, 183.
Nah, 180.
Let's find out.
Check it. We've got 127 in the chat. Thank you for being with us, guys. We're getting through the games. We're getting to my North Melbourne very, very soon. How much?
182. I mean, you're still right though. Yeah.
No, that's kind of what you said. I'd say you're right.
Well, I wasn't wrong, that's for sure. But I mean, your point was generally right.
Bobby Magic also said that no, but Ginnivan and McDonald I'm not counting as proper smalls. I mean, Ginnivan's a bit tall. Ginnivan's like 185. I think McDonald's about 180. Maybe he's a bit bigger. Pure crumbing players, he means.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, well then I wouldn't include Curtis in that.
Yeah.
But also, like, not everybody has the same makeup of small forwards. Like, not everybody has those pure crummers.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say Brisbane, none of Brisbane's small forwards are really like that. Maybe you could say Charlie Cameron.
Yeah.
But the Rayners and the Baileys are a little bit different. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Richardly 3159 says Jason Horne-Francis should be a smoky for all Australian, averaging nearly 23 touches and kicked 20 goals so far. He is actually having a really good season, and he was
20 goals is good.
Unreal in this game as well. Such a good goal-kicking midfielder. James Workshop AU says, does a new fun coach like Josh Carr make Port a destination club? If Port improve next year without Butters.
So if Port improve next year, yeah, that's a big if, but yes, I think so.
Yep.
As well as they're going right now in relative terms, right? It's hard to imagine you take out Zach Butters and they get better. Like Butters is having an unreal season, and he was he was the best on ground.
He's their most consistent player.
Yeah, he was the best on ground in this game as well.
Yeah, he won the medal.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a big if, but Port Adelaide's going to be such an interesting situation over the next few. Like Butters, Georgiades tipped to leave, but could they be a contender for Naz? Because that changes things. And Cochrane, Pilot, Salopek.
I think we underrate Port Adelaide's ability to regenerate and just be a consistently good football team. I know they've had little periods where they've been quite poor.
Yeah, like 2011, 12, that was a dark era.
Yeah, but
nearly folded.
like you know, like we always talk about the showdown being this game that like it doesn't matter where you are on the ladder, you're always a chance. Like I think that kind of talk or speaks to the strength of the two Adelaide clubs. Like they're both serial contenders, right? They seem to be able to bottom out a little bit, refresh their list quickly, and go again and be really successful. And they never turn into that absolute basket case job of like a North Melbourne or a West Coast.
Yeah, I mean Port did about 15 years ago.
This bad? They wouldn't have been as bad as
not the Eagles.
North or West Coast.
No, but they had some horrific losses, and I think their position in the AFL was in jeopardy.
Yeah, okay.
It was really bad.
What year was that? I'm trying to.
It was like 2011, 2012, right before Hinkley.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah. He sort of turned them around, but even then, like he make a prelim in his first season.
Yeah, that's true. So it would have been short. Yeah, you're right in that it's not a longer period. Yeah, absolutely. But there was just a really bad
spot there.
Yeah.
Yep. North Melbourne and Essendon.
Game of the round.
Should we get onto this one? This was an absolute beauty. North Melbourne defeated the Bombers 79-65. And Jesse, I have one question to ask you to kick this off, because I don't know who was worse in this game. Who was worse?
Yeah, Essendon.
They were still worse.
About 14 points worse.
About 14 points worse.
Yeah.
We kind of dominated everything in this game.
Yeah.
If I have a bit of a look at it here. So we went 435 disposals to 360 disposals. We had, what do we got? 51 inside 50s to 40, so plus 11 there. We had 29 shots to 19. The expected score was 100 to 63. And Nick Larkey kicked one goal, 5 behinds. He did the Jake Waterman. Do you guys want him?
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be good. I feel like we should have won this by a lot, and it probably does tell you something about North Melbourne. We're not that good. We're really not that good. Who are the teams that we've actually beaten this year?
You've beaten Essendon twice. You beat West Coast once. You've beaten Richmond twice, or just once? Twice. Yep. You beat Port Adelaide. You beat the Gold Coast Suns
and Carlton.
That's it.
Yep. It's not exactly a smorgasbord of
There's no H. What? There's no H in smorgasbord. It's smorgasbord.
A smorgasbord, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was smorgasbord.
No. That's hilarious.
I like to put a European flair on it. A smorgasbord then.
I'll double check that. It is spelled smorgasbord. It's scanned it. I'm gonna Google pronunciation.
Feels very Northern European. Dutch, maybe?
Oh, no, that's not
smorgasbord?
It's small, yeah.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Yeah. I'm glad we got there.
It's not a smorgasbord of scalps.
It's not. After all that, agreed. I think there's caveats against all of them. However, you would have taken that and run after the years that you've had, I reckon.
Yeah. I mean, what did I say to you at the start of this season about North Melbourne? What did they have to do?
They had to be within the hunt for a wild card spot deep into the season for Clarkson to get another year.
Have a look at that little ladder behind you there.
Where are it's partially concealed.
Where are we?
Wait, so what are you saying? I thought you were just shitting on North, and now you're you're gloating.
I'm just bipolar.
No, they're 100%. Well, are they actually in the hunt though? Do you think?
No.
Yeah, so maybe not.
Where am I going with this?
Even I'm confused. Look, mathematically they're in the hunt. That probably ticks off the season so far. Obviously, it's got to finish well too, like relatively. But you're right. I don't think you, or many in the chat, let us know if you disagree, think North are really a chance.
I think it's a positive that you go into, like I've gone into this game again, this run of fixtures against West Coast, against Richmond and against Essendon, and I've been fairly confident that we're going to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
I know you argued that with the West Coast game, but fairly confident.
Actually. I think I tipped North, did I? No, or did I lie? It doesn't matter.
Anyway, it's not the point.
I had some doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. I think there was a relative amount of confidence that we're going to win those 3 games.
Yep.
We've done that. We go into now. I still think we need to take a scalp.
Yes.
I keep now using the word scalp.
I didn't notice, but now I will.
We need to take a scalp, Jesse.
Yeah.
We need to get there. What do you think?
I think you can be satisfied with the position you're in. But I think we had a conversation a few weeks ago about how happy you should be with Clarkson, right? That was the frame of that conversation, right? And I sort of argued that, well, he's exceeded or achieved exactly what you'd hoped. And your argument was, well, let's not jump up and down and cheer because he's achieved about par for what we expected. And I think I agree with that. I think it is a relatively successful season just to bank more wins, get a little bit more belief and I guess confidence and happiness around the fan base. And it is more enjoyable winning than losing in a lot of these. Yeah. I think Simpkins said the other day he's never been in the position where the season's still alive post-bye.
Yeah.
So that is all valuable.
That's crazy.
That is all valuable. But I think you're right, though. If you look at the actual wins and losses, you're thinking this is decent, but you haven't shot the lights out.
What concerns me is we'll come into next year after like this, what looks like a really, like it does look really good. Like we're sitting 9th on the ladder right now. We're above the Gold Coast Suns. We're above Collingwood. We're talking about how good Carlton are and we're still 3 places ahead of them. It looks fantastic, but I worry that the fixture tightens up for us next year. A few other things, we might have an injury to a really top end player and just like the arse falls out of the club again.
Absolutely.
So I've kind of got my, I don't know, what do you call that? Like I've got my wits about me, I suppose.
Totally.
That I don't want that to happen to us.
So interestingly, if you look at the squiggle predictor, which is all I have time to do, I'm not going to predict the season myself, but North fall back into the bottom 6 on the squiggle predictor to 13th, which puts you in the lowest banding for fixture.
Oh, okay.
So that's actually
so we're actually going to be okay.
You're tank for 13th.
Can you tell us what that has us doing in the final games?
No, I don't think there's a game by game breakdown. It predicts you with 10.6 wins. So it's based on the probabilities.
Yeah. And Sharmo Money, Sharmo Problem says, as a North fan, this has got to be the shittest 3-game win streak ever. Way more bad than good, in my opinion.
Probably, to be fair. Richmond, you beat easily, but I remember it was gross, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was real gross. And this was gross.
The West Coast game was a bit bleak for everyone.
Real
and the Essendon one wasn't great.
It's almost like the wins have revealed like more problems than positives. Nothing is fixed here.
Even your win streaks are concerning.
And remember, before the West Coast game, we got beaten by 126 points.
Yeah, that's true. Having said all that, taking a pretty negative look on North Melbourne here. There's an opportunity for a season-defining victory between now and the end of the season. You got to claim a scalp, and if you do that, then big achievement.
Yeah,
it only takes one.
It does only take one.
Yeah, maybe we thought it was Gold Coast.
Yeah, but that was. I mean, that was somewhat of a scalp, but it's not looking. It's not looking as good as it did. Chris Turbo says, massive month of footy for North. Need 3 wins to be a chance for wild card. It's funny because like as much as like we are in the mix. Like you have to say that we're in the mix for wild card. I don't think we are.
I'll quick fire you the games.
Okay.
Port Adelaide away.
Loss.
Collingwood at Marvel. That's gettable.
That's win.
That's 50-50.
Why did I want to say win to that?
I think win too. Sorry, Rogie.
Yeah.
Don't unmembership me.
Love you, Rogie, but
Melbourne at Marvel.
win.
Yeah. I'll say winnable. Yeah. St Kilda at Marvel.
We can do this. I didn't know it was that good. The draw. I thought it was.
I think it's about to get worse.
Oh, okay. St Kilda at Marvel. I'll say loss because like we won't win. We won't beat Collingwood, Melbourne, and St Kilda on the bounce.
Yep. Hawthorn in Tassie. That's got some trauma there.
Here I am. 1 minute I'm like Hawthorn Premiership favourites. And I'm like win.
Yeah.
Nah, loss.
Western Bulldogs at Marvel.
Loss.
Probably loss, but again, gettable. But you're coming up against some teams in the category above you that you can prove yourself against.
For whatever reason, you know, like when you said that Carlton always smash you as a team,
Yeah.
Western Bulldogs feel like that to me.
Yeah, that's fair. But they are far less potent than they have been.
Yeah.
But the shots on goal is also quite low over the last 5.
When you can generate as much offense, offensive teams kill us because our defense absolutely sucks.
True.
So like imagine, just thinking he's not going to be there, but like imagine Sam Darcy on Griffin Logue.
Yeah, I know, right. Geelong at Marvel.
Loss.
Yeah. And Sydney in Sydney.
Loss.
Yeah.
So we probably have to win that 3-game streak. We have to go Collingwood.
Rogie says you can barely beat Richmond and Essendon, but you're beating us. Come on, mate.
Fair call.
That's fair.
Fair call. I mean, like, to be fair, you guys didn't exactly touch up Richmond in this game.
Yeah, that's true.
You can talk, Rogie.
Yeah.
Fair point, though.
And they only beat us by 10.
Decent point.
Great Wall of Jimby says, Jesse, when will the list manager game be part of the website be ready? Looks like a lot of fun. So I'll be clear about that. That is actually not going to be part of the site. That is not part of the Trade and Draft Hub. That is a game I'm making on the side. I'm hoping for the end of the year.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I realise now that it might be confusing.
Ah, yes.
Sorry.
We are up to the last game of the round, which is Fremantle defeating the Gold Coast Suns. You're hearing this right. 80 points to 29 points. The Gold Coast Suns, they kicked 3 goals in this game, equal worst ever for the Gold Coast Suns. And we know how fucking horrendous they were when they first entered the league and the low scores they would have been dishing up. In fact, their worst ever before this was round 23, 2017. They lost to Port Adelaide. They kicked 3 goals, 2 behinds. This was 3 goals, 11 behind, so a bigger total score, but just a shocking performance. And the Freo train rolls on, Jesse.
Yeah, it's gone from bad to worse for the Suns after a relatively competitive game against Hawthorn in Queensland, wasn't it? Yep. I mean, Hawthorn was too good for them, but they kept pace with them. Clearly way off the mark in this game. Obviously the scene of the crime, the David Swallow rematch.
Do you reckon that was on like a part of the Freo hype up to this game?
Possibly.
We get these.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah. Especially when you've won like 13 in a row at that point and you need to really keep the fire burning. But of course that would have been a motivating factor, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you need some motivation with that.
Yeah.
And Dimmer Hardwick at the end of this game, he referenced the amount of changes since they last played Freo. So in that game with David Swallow, he referenced it. I'm not sure if I totally agree with everything that he's saying there, though. Like, okay, fair enough. Like the changes are there, but I'm sure a lot of those changes are actually to bring better players into the team.
Perhaps, but let's discuss them. Who would those players be? Petrarca,
Ewland.
Is that an upgrade though? An 18-year-old Ewland who hasn't shot the lights out, as it were.
I think so. He's a pick 3.
Is he contributing more than?
I reckon a Jed Walter is probably in the team.
Yeah. I don't think he...
So they are. A lot of these guys are for the long term. So fair play. But Petrarca. I'm trying to think of the guys that they brought in. Jamar. Oh no, he didn't play though.
No, true. But they brought him in. I think that was it though. and they're 2 high picks.
Yeah.
They lost a few players.
Did Adden play in this game? Gee, I should have done the work on this.
Let me double check.
What a mess.
He did debut.
He debuted a couple of weeks ago, and Murray as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Murray had the Rising Star nom the week before.
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks pretty good. All that to be said, I think there are a few new faces in there. It'd be good to get a breakdown. Maybe we should have done that.
I should have done that.
Yes.
Going into this game, but yeah, I don't know. I just felt like it was a little bit of a.
It certainly doesn't excuse the form slump though. Like
No.
the numbers are so alarming around the Gold Coast Suns. Like it's obviously a deeper issue than growing pains or whatever you want to call it.
I feel like you can only make that argument if it's based heavily around injuries.
Yeah.
But I don't think that like it's not as if you played that game against Fremantle last year and then this was the next game that you played and all your players are about to gel. We're in round 15 of the following season. And nothing's really changed for you. And they're like, they've probably got injuries. I'm trying to think of the...
He was probably asked without knowing. He's probably asked, like, how did you beat them in the elimination final and then this happens?
Yeah, they would have
That's
obviously
probably
asked
what
him a contrasting question
and he
about,
would have said,
like,
well, half the team's different.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good explanation or a good excuse for where they're at, I don't think so. But, my God, they're still winning the ball. They're 5th for contested possession differential over the last 5 and 18th for inside 50 differential. So they're getting the ball and it's not reaching their forwards.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
I think the most bizarre thing about it is that like they came in, you would almost expect that they would have come into the season really being like out of whack with each other, not gelling at all. And they come in, they get off to a really shit start and they kind of can't arrest the momentum. But their first month of football was incredible.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to understand exactly where it's all fallen apart.
Who did they beat? So they beat Geelong, they beat West Coast.
They beat Geelong, they beat West Coast.
Who did they beat after that?
They beat, let me go into it because they genuinely had good wins, I'm sure, in that first month of football.
What did they downhill ski?
Maybe they did.
But they don't even seem capable of downhill skiing at the moment.
No, they smashed the Cats.
Yeah.
They pumped the Eagles.
Yeah, it's not a big win.
They pumped the Tigers.
Okay. Going to need more here, Dylan.
Don't be Essendon. They had a bye. They lost to Melbourne.
That first month was scintillating.
They got smashed by the Swans.
Oh, my God.
They beat Essendon by 9 points.
We're literally running off the Geelong win. That's it. The fumes of the Geelong win.
At the time, it felt so good.
It felt compelling.
It felt so good.
Because it was confirmation bias.
What have they done? They didn't do anything.
It was confirmation bias. We go in with this belief that they're going to be an amazing team. They pump some shit teams. Well, Geelong are obviously good.
Yeah, but I do feel like that. I've always said that Geelong game is it's not a storm in a teacup. That's not the same. But it's
yeah, you can't extrapolate from that one game.
Not at all.
No,
because of like the age profile of Geelong, etc., etc.
The official UFL says no, we did not have good wins.
They literally beat no one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gold Coast won the battle last year, but Freo won the war. That's what the Shamo money says.
That is such a good comment. Who said that?
Shamo money.
Gold Coast won the battle, but Freo won the war.
Yeah, perhaps.
It actually is true.
Mind you, only one of them is a final, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd way rather be Freo right now.
I did feel like even in that game last year, there was, not that I expected this to happen to Gold Coast in any sense, but I did think Freo was still the better squad for right now.
Last year. Oh, for right
coming
now.
into this year.
Yeah, okay.
Like I tipped Freo to finish higher than Gold Coast.
Did you?
Yeah.
Where did you tip Gold Coast?
6th.
Did you?
Yeah.
Huh. Fair enough. Yeah, what about Freo? I suppose we didn't really learn a lot. Like they dominated again. And I suppose it continues to be impressive they don't take a backward step.
The Dockers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no injuries still. They don't seem to be like, that's really at this point in wins like that, that's the only bad thing that can happen.
Yeah,
I think
it's crazy how injury resistant they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess they just with these types of wins, like more than anything, they just kind of build resilience, they build a bit of belief.
Yeah.
That's hard to knock them off.
They've conceded 200 fewer points than the next best team, which is Collingwood, and they have only had 100 points put on them once against the Western Bulldogs, and they won the game.
God, scary.
It's a crazy run.
Do you buy into the belief that they actually would benefit from a loss in the run home?
Yeah, no, like in theory, yes, but I do think like there are teams who do go pretty much the whole season to win. Not the whole season, but I mean the Cats in 22. I actually think they might have been like 6-3 and then just didn't stop after that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a concern if they lose a few.
I feel like Freo, the way that they play, they're better to roll on.
Possibly right. Yeah.
I actually don't think they need a wake-up call.
Yeah.
I think they understand the way that they play.
Yeah.
And they've just got to keep winning and keep grinding it out.
It's impressive to continue that after the bye as well. I would have thought there was a bit of a vulnerability there.
Yeah.
Helps they're playing a terrible team, the Gold Coast Suns. But
I thought the Brisbane game was the one that they were going to drop.
Sure. Yeah.
That would have been so excusable if they had that was at the Gabba too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it just would have been just so fine to say, like, we went up there, we lost by 3 or 4 goals and they smacked them up. So that was incredibly impressive. Jesse, do you want to play Stank or Bank?
I need to go to the bathroom again.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
You hold forward.
I'll go through
Engage with
some
the chat.
comments. Seth Beek says, are you worried about Dylan Patterson? I mean, we haven't seen him, have we? I don't think he's played a game. Dylan Patterson. So I'm not worried about him. Let's have a look. Dill Patterson. Where are you? Games 2026. Dill Patterson has not played a game yet. I'm not worried about him. I'm probably surprised he hasn't debuted yet, just given the talent and but maybe we'll see that now in this end of the season. Maybe they'll fling the magnets around, change a little bit. But I think he'll get his opportunity. The official UFL says, I'm fucking miserable here. Why must my sunnies be this way? Fuck. That is actually pretty... I mean, like, it couldn't be going any worse. I'll give you that. It could not be going any worse. You're behind. You're in 11th position. We've been talking about how poor Collingwood have been. They're 10th. And North Melbourne are 9th. Like, it's unthinkable. Inferno Tree says, did I hear correctly? Pies was second best for points against. I do think that's right. I will absolutely confirm that, though. Opposition averages. And Redback Spider actually asked before about where you find I can't remember what we were talking about, where you find like some of the deeper stats. Go to wheeloratings.com and you can if you go to the team stats, you can search all of that like really in depth. You can do like team averages, opposition averages, differential, stuff like that. There's all the detailed player stats. You get pretty much everything that I think there's certain things that they would get inside champion data, but you get most of the main statistics anyway. Points, scores, points. Collingwood are second. Yep. 80.1 points against. Freo are clearly the best with 67.1 points against. Collingwood are second. So the top 4 teams, Freo, Collingwood, Adelaide, and Port Adelaide are the top 4 defensive profiles.
Yep.
From a pure points against perspective.
In their overall rating system, they did have Port still top 4. I don't know how that's calculated.
Okay.
Wheelo.
Interesting.
Champion data.
But yeah, like obviously that's just points against. And Collingwood, I think like we kind of all know that the major issue with Collingwood this year is scoring, less so than defending scores.
Sasquatch Freo. The only time I've seen a team come harder than Freo is when that Austrian handball team was all over my smorgasbord. he put SH as well.
Fuck's sake. That's. I was trying to figure it out. Redback Spider said, how does one find the expected score info?
Oh, yeah, Wheelo.
Yeah. So specifically for that, if you want to do the game by game, go to Wheelo, go to match stats. Then you get all the individual games pop up and you click on the individual games and there's like a big stats board down the bottom.
Can take like 12 to 24 hours for the game to come up.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to do it straight after the game, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's right. But you get pretty detailed stats. You get all the score origin data, if they score from the back half, from the front half, the centre bounce, all of that kind of stuff. So it's pretty useful.
It's great. I use it a lot.
Me too. Stank or bank, Jesse?
Stank me and bank me.
Are you ready?
Somewhat.
I think I've got a couple of good ones in here. I mean, we've kind of talked about this We have actually kind of talked about this, and this was going to be off the top, but this is a Richmond fan, so take it with a grain of salt. This is Andrew Mock on Twitter. No doubt North are slowly improving, but their draw has been unbelievable. Next week, they'll have played the entire bottom four twice already. What a handy leg up. Hashtag AFL North Dons. And that's wins against Port Adelaide, West Coast, Richmond ×2, Essendon ×2, Carlton under Voss, and the 11th placed Gold Coast Suns.
It's absolutely a bank. He's right. But we did just discuss North still, the season isn't over. North have an opportunity to make up some ground on the teams ranked above them, and they'll be judged probably more so about these next 6 weeks, I think.
Okay. Give me a successful end of the where we can go tick.
I think if you beat the Bulldogs and like a Collingwood, that's huge.
Saints.
Yeah, give me 2 out of those 4. The other one was Melbourne. If you claim 8 points against those games of teams in that block around your position, then you've clearly leveled up massively.
That feels very C grade to me, but
Really?
that would feel like a pass winning 2 of those 4. I feel like winning 3 would be a clear
Yeah, it would. But I think contextually the whole season, you come back and
coming from where we were,
and you've beaten teams like a St Kilda and or a Collingwood. Yeah, no, that's a huge improvement. I think.
I'll give you that. Carlton's list. This is from Sabretooth Drom. Sabretooth the Drom. 6 weeks ago, all the discussion here was that Carlton's list was cooked and they needed to go through a rebuild, i.e. move Cripps and Wiedering on, bottom out and start from scratch. Do we still think they need to do this, or do they need more rejigging? I have no idea what to make of their list currently. I can't imagine many sides would want to play them at the moment, which is incredibly bizarre. What will their ambition be for the coming years? So this one's less of a stank or bank and more of an exploration of the Blues.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, he's dead right about the narrative change. This is pretty unprecedented.
Are teams scared to play them?
I think we said that with 6 teams clearly better than Carlton.
Yep.
And I would probably still rather play Carlton than those 6 teams. But other than that, they're probably in more ominous form than Melbourne.
Yeah.
And North and whoever is next.
The Dogs would be in the...
Yeah, you'd way rather play those clubs than Carlton right now. So that's where I'd rank them. I think we're seeing the young players play well, and that's a really nice sweet spot to be in. I don't think this group wins another premiership with Wiedering, a first premiership with Wiedering, Cripps and Mackay and all those elder statesmen, Hewitt even.
Wiedering might be just young enough.
Maybe. Yeah, fair.
Just.
Fair. I still don't see it, but I think it's still about the next group. But what they can do is foster a competitive team. It's a much better environment for... Look how much better Billy Wilson... Or like we're starting to get such a lens on Billy Wilson, for example.
Matt Carroll,
we started to see it with Carroll pre-injury. Yeah. Jagger was playing well regardless. Harry Dean probably also playing well regardless. But
He's kind of gone to... He's improved really quickly.
Yeah. But now the stage is set for Cody Walker to come in and join that mix. Taylor Burns probably an example of a player looking or allowed to play a bit better.
Jack Ison?
Yep. Yeah, great shout. So what they need to do is hit that sort of Geelong sweet spot where they can still get young players into the side who play well.
Cody Walker?
Yeah, okay, maybe that's not because Geelong don't have access to a Cody Walker. Not a great example.
No. But
yeah, what I mean is still turn over the list and transition the list, but still play finals. Because then suddenly Jed Walter playing at Carlton doesn't look as absurd as it did 6 weeks ago.
100%.
So that's the sweet spot they want to be in.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
I still think it's about list turnover. I think they need to push to that next group.
You need to push to the next group.
Yeah, I think so.
Jagger Smith needs to be your best player. Harry Dean in your best players.
Yeah. Cody Walker
makes it still a couple of... I reckon teams in this situation though, they shouldn't rule out making finals and making who, you know what I mean? Who says you can't win a premiership?
Absolutely.
With a bunch of kids.
Ragtag team of misfits.
Yes. This one is about coaches meddling with draft picks. This is Grant Thomas, who's a regular contributor to Stank or Bank. Springs up some gold for me. He answered a question here. So someone posted, Murphy Reid is a handy player, to Grant Thomas. Did you ever get involved in draft picks? This is former coach Grant Thomas of St Kilda. He said, no, and I didn't let other coaches meddle either. Simply pick the best talent and we will coach them. Coaches make selfish decisions based on their contracts, timing, performance, expectations, etc. That's where the problems start.
It's interesting insight. I don't think I'm in a position to say Stank or bank. Like we're talking about someone who's actually got industry experience. I would have thought my impression of it was the extent of the coach's role here is to maybe lay out the game style and the traits they're looking for, right?
Yes.
So like if Hardwick's Richmond team, you're looking for those kind of pressure small types, right? For instance, there's a bit of a blueprint for the kind of player you want. You don't want, maybe the talented types who are a little bit lazy, right? Like that probably just wouldn't suit a Hardwick style, and maybe it suits other teams more. I didn't make it sound very attractive there, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Like we don't want a controlling kind of slow, maybe tempo kicking guy off the halfback flank. We want like a run and gun.
Yeah.
We want someone that can fire up the middle of the ground. So if one of those isn't available, don't pick the slow one.
Yeah. So it does need to be informed by the coach's vision, but there's a reason they're not the one making the decision. You need to be able to back in your recruiters to make the right decision. I also think if we're talking pointy end of the draft, then the coach probably has less input. If you're talking pick 1 to 5, don't pick on position or traits versus the actual talent.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think sometimes, and I've heard coaches talk about this just from like consuming the media.
Yeah.
But you don't draft to your game plan. You get the players in, the talented playmakers, and then you craft a game plan around their strengths. So if we're talking pointy end of the draft, less input, but generally you can probably map out a bit of a blueprint of what we want and what we value at this club.
What if we pull that into like a real world example then, and we move it away from actually specifically which players you pick in the draft, and you look at like a Craig McRae, who has kind of come into Collingwood. He's done really well really quickly, which has given him I would say Craig McRae's immediate success gave him a platform of like more power within the football club.
Yeah.
Because basically he wins that premiership, and then it's like, well, okay, like we have to trust this guy.
Yeah.
Essentially, he's not going to get fired, so we're trusting him. And then he sort of says like, we're not going to. It's not that he said like we need to pick this type of player to protect me. He basically said we're actually avoiding the draft. So that's like a different conversation again, right? Where he seems to have steered them. The direction that they're taking since Craig McRae's come in and they've won that premiership is they've steered away from the draft. Could that be seen in the same light?
Yeah, provided that is actually a Craig McRae direction. I'm not sure if that's.
Well, he said it in the media, so but
he would put out what the club's position is that they decided 100%. Together, right? So, I'm not sure if universally across the league, it's the same person who makes the decisions for the list at every club. I do remember, and I think I've referenced this before, but the year the Eagles won the flag, Simo said that he was told with the list position to start moving towards younger players. So there was a direction from above about the direction the list was going to go to. And thankfully, he didn't take that too literally. We played a few kids in round 1 and we lost, and then went on to win the premiership. So they got the call wrong. But the interesting insight from that is that he was advised on the strategy of the club, and he didn't decide it. Not sure what McRae thinks, or what was the case there. I'd imagine Sam Mitchell's another coach who probably has some sway around that sort of stuff.
Yeah, seems to. He seems to want to be involved in the type of players that they get into the club.
You want to be picking guys, like McRae and Mitchell are also kind of style coaches, if that makes sense. So you kind of want to have input from those coaches about the players, the types of players that they want.
Yeah, the system, very system-driven guys.
Yeah,
for sure.
But these coaches also don't have the time to watch as much tape as the recruiters, right? So it's absurd if they're overriding them.
Yeah, it has to be like backing in their talent. I do agree with that. It's another sort of draft-related stank or bank. Players who say they won't travel interstate should be avoided by all clubs.
Clubs.
Draftees who say they won't travel interstate should be avoided by all clubs.
So, young player says he doesn't want to leave Victoria. Even Collingwood don't draft him. That's the idea.
Yep. So, yes. Yeah, exactly. Like,
it'd be nice. You're never going to get that, though.
No, of course you're not.
You're never going to get that.
Yeah.
So, I'll say a little delusional.
Stank.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with where it's coming from. Like, that is just an unfortunate part of the game. We actually can't legislate too much.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because we were talking about play. And again, this is speculation. Like some of this stuff's not like fully out there, but I think Archie Perkins like did actually say that he didn't want to go into state. Like that's like he actually said that in the media. He's probably an example of like, well, you shouldn't have drafted him then. But then supposedly Harry Sheezel was one of those people too.
Yep.
And then that's worked out just fine.
Yeah. I heard that about Chad Wingard as well, which ironically he then requested a trade to put out to Hawthorn.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to go to, I think, the Giants. So he slid to pick 6, got to Port Adelaide, then ended up in Melbourne anyway.
Ended up in Melbourne.
Funny. It's funny, the decisions you make at 18 are not the ones you make at 24.
Yeah,
Crazy,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, it's great. Mental.
It'd be great if we had a perfect, fair system, but it's never going to happen.
Okay, the next one is from Goody Howe. This is about Bailey Humphrey's worth. This is from Brad Klebanski, sorry. What is Bailey Humphrey's worth? Bailey Humphrey is going to be a fascinating watch come AFL trade period. He'll be traded, but what will clubs need to offer as he's contracted? He finished today's game with 6 disposals, 6 turnovers, 0 marks, 0 scoring shots. Have I emphasised that enough? He's kicked 9 goals this season playing as a forward, and 4 came in the opening round. He's been goalless in 7 matches. There's a good chance at being dropped in the coming weeks.
Oof. Yeah, it's an awkward one where dropping him, making that decision will hurt his trade value. So it's a bank, but I think, is he contracted for just one more? I think he is.
I think so.
Yeah, which means that I think the Gold Coast Suns need to trade him now. But if they don't extract really good value from that deal, they don't need to trade him.
No.
Right? So I think there's always going to be natural forces here that make him expensive.
Yeah.
Regardless of his form.
The funny thing about this comment, it sort of goes off the back of the players who say they won't travel interstate thing. Does Bailey Humphrey right now have a bit of an asterisk? Because it very much feels like he is not happy at the Gold Coast Suns. He's thrown the toys out of the pram and he wants to get back home. And he's almost there's almost a point where it feels like he's sabotaging himself a little bit.
Maybe.
At this point.
Yeah.
To try to get back to Melbourne. We'll never know that, but it at least feels like that a little bit from the outside. You can see him getting a move to a Melbourne club and then in a year's time he comes out and does an interview and he's like, I was deeply unhappy.
Yeah.
Etc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't playing my best football. And now he's he's turned it around and he's averaging 25 and 4. Is this a thing that clubs should look at to avoid based on the fact that he wants to get out of there really badly?
So what would they avoid exactly?
Humphrey.
Like drafting him or
the trade.
Or trading for him?
Trading for him.
You're saying it puts off a Melbourne or a
Does it?
Collingwood?
Oh, I'm asking you.
It's a worthy consideration, but I think
this is your Stank or bank, Jesse.
But the talent is high enough. I think you still try and find that. You should roll the dice, I think.
You got to roll the dice.
Yeah.
You got to roll the dice.
Sasquatch Freo says, drafting homesick players has worked well for Fremantle in recent years. I think you need to back in your culture to convince the player to stay. And if they don't, you often end up better off anyway. It's a risk that you end up better off. You're not going to guarantee to get market value for that player if you draft a player and it doesn't work out.
So who are the homesick players that have, because Chera?
I think Chera. Well, that's an example of them getting a really good deal, and Lockie Weller in 2017. They got pick 2 out of that. It's one of the worst trades of all time. I do agree with what you're saying around backing into culture, but I do think it's different for every club. Essendon can't back in their culture right now.
No.
West Coast hasn't been able to back in their culture. Perhaps they've turned a corner there. Possibly North have turned that corner, but for a while it wasn't the case. Fremantle have been pretty rock solid as an organisation for a while now.
What I was going to say about Freo, they've managed to get that capital because their development's really good.
Yes.
So like an Adam Chera, when he left, he had probably more market value than when he came into the club, arguably. And then he almost when he left, he kind of reverted back to what he actually was. Whereas,
very true.
A team like North Melbourne, who you just said our culture's gotten better, it certainly has to some degree, but I'm not sure our development is exactly where it needs to be. We've still got, we drafted Will Phillips at pick 3 and had to cut him in the last couple of years. Zane Dersma is still a top level pick, like a pick 4 that hasn't come along. So if you can draft people, and even if they're going to be struggling with being away, you know that you can still get something out of them. It's probably okay, right?
Yeah, that's true. I also think having a young, talented core like a Fremantle does helps, right? And maybe, hopefully, my team will approach that, and you'll sort of get into that region as well. But like the demographics of the list matter. If we bring in an 18-year-old, does he have mates from the Vic Country team? You know, these little factors are important.
It comes into it for sure. Shurimo Money says, Dylan, what would your ins and outs for North if it were up to you? Defo got to get rid of CCJ. Would you call up Banch after his game winner? Would I call up Banch? I mean, CCJ's got a. I'm not a fan of CCJ, but like, wouldn't we? If we were dropping CCJ, we'd have to bring in like. I was surprised that Goad got dropped.
Yeah,
Goad got like 1-2 games and then went out for CCJ, even when Sherry went out.
Is that just a management thing?
I said omitted.
Far out.
They wrote omitted on the
questionable
on the paper, so I can only back that in. Banch is decent. Like Banch, sort of like I feel like he's like it's Constantine or Banch is the 1-for-1. You could probably maybe throw Spargo into that mix. I probably think I like Banch the best out of those three players.
Okay, but
obviously Clarkson doesn't because he hasn't been playing him. I think they'll probably leave it. I think they'll probably leave it as it is at the moment. Woolly Toffee says, big game Zane's problem is him. He still doesn't get what it takes to be a good pro. There's probably some truth in that. There is probably some truth in that. I'll give you the last Stank or Bank, Jesse.
Stank or Bank.
This is from Bomber Boss Alcatraz. Roby, no midfield time. Solly wants to try and win games, so Parrish goes straight in there. Solomon.
I'm not even sure. Oh, Solly. I thought it was Sully Roby. Okay.
No. It's confusing that. Roby didn't get any midfield time. Dean Solomon wants to try and win games, so he puts Parrish straight in there.
He did. He probably wanted to win, didn't he?
He won.
No, that's fair enough. I think there's also an argument for managing Sully Roby. I actually have his stats open here. 22% centre bounce attendances after a period of going 41, 50, 71, 61, 75, down to 43, down to 42, 22. So there's a little bit of that is also managing an 18-year-old off no preseason. That may have been the explanation. I don't really blame him for trying to get 4 points.
Do you think he wants the job?
Essendon needs it. Yeah, why wouldn't he? Surely there's no hope.
They can't give him the job, can they?
Nah. No disrespect. I mean, he's got a really tough job. Like, this isn't really a fair reflection of Dean Solomon as a coach, but with the other candidates available.
It really hurts that Josh Fraser's out there just mailing it in. Yeah. Like, he just can't stop winning. And then Solomon's had like 2 stints at caretaker and hasn't won a game.
I mean, Essendon are far younger and less experienced than...
Yeah.
And, you know, he's inherited those cultural issues, which, to be fair, maybe people are saying the same thing about Carlton. But with Essendon, it's more palpable. Ridley wants out. Merritt wants out. Yep. Darcy Parish wants out. It's a bit of a dumpster fire of a coaching job, right? So maybe he doesn't want it.
Maybe.
Now that I've talked myself around there, it'd be a tough gig.
I think it's a what do you say? Like a
poison chalice.
Well, it's a poison chalice. I was going to say it's like what's that when you say it's a warning? Like,
yeah, you go for an analogy.
I had a good one. It's
Omen?
It's a. Oh, fuck it. It's a warning.
Hypotenuse?
Is it a Key and Peele thing?
No, just threw a random word out there to be unhelpful.
It's a it's a warning for coaches out there taking on a caretaker job where you're like, well, this will rocket me into contention for a senior coaching
Cautionary
job.
tale.
Cautionary tale is what I wanted, Jesse. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's a cautionary tale for those who want a senior coaching job and think, oh, there's a caretaker job there, but maybe you shouldn't always take it. Because I reckon this is making Dean Solomon look worse.
Yeah, you'd hope that those assessing him when he eventually applies for a senior coaching job would be more discerning than that.
I think they would be, but you can't disregard it. So like if you hire someone and they've lost, I don't know, whatever it is, 10 to 15 games straight as a coach, like it's still...
But the guy who replaced did the same thing.
Yeah, you know, he got sacked.
Yeah, but I just mean like... Well, you got to have realistic expectations.
Yeah, it's just you can't not... I'm not saying that it's all correct, but if like you're going up against someone... I think there's a reality that when you're looking at two coaches, the guy that's lost 15 games out of 15 versus the guy that's never coached before, you're going, at least I don't like, at least like I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So like if I put him in there, at least I can say like we didn't know anything. Whereas like with Solomon, you're like, well, he's lost all the games.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the games, Jesse.
Yeah. I hope that they don't look at that too literally. Because, I mean, when did he take over the Gold Coast Suns? We can assume they were diabolical.
Yeah, probably.
Because before.
Again, normally when you're stepping into a caretaker job, you don't win your first 7 games.
Yeah. Was it Stewie Jew maybe that he replaced? So
probably.
not that long ago. But still, they weren't good.
Yeah, probably. I thought McVie maybe.
McVie?
Didn't McVie, one of the, like Spike McVie, was he a caretaker at some point?
I don't know who that is. Spike McVie.
McVie, yeah. Was he a caretaker? Jeez.
Sounds like a dodgeball character.
We're going off on a tangent. I'll let you do that. Show My Money says, this was the perfect opportunity for Go to get a run as the main ruck.
Oh, Mark McVeigh.
Mark McVeigh.
Yeah.
Spike.
I did not know this. I know who Mark McVeigh is. Was he at the Giants?
Maybe it was too. It was after Cameron.
Yeah.
He was at Giants after Cameron. So did Solomon, was he caretaker at the Gold Coast Suns, was he?
He was, yeah. That was the 3 games he lost.
Post Stuart Jew.
I don't know that. Somebody in the chat can let us know that.
Yep. I think Zane Dersma needs a run in the VFL. You're probably right. He's struggling greatly. Very concerned about that pick right now, Jesse.
Zane Dersma? Yeah.
Extremely concerned.
Yeah.
How concerned are you?
Quite
concerned.
He looked good against Carlton. That was a while ago now.
That is a while ago. Who are you more concerned about? Zane Dersma or Elijah Hewitt?
Dersma. Hewitt's played better games at AFL level already.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Dersma's got a lot less on the board. And he's a year younger, to be fair.
Yeah, he is. But he's a higher pick, which makes it worse.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Should we wrap up, sir?
We shall wrap up.
We shall. Guys,
Subway.
Do not forget to go and check out the True Footy website, www.truefooty.com.au. I am about to, in the next couple of days, or in the next day, I will have all of the statistics, all of the events data from the Vic Metro versus Allies game that was on Sunday. Vic Metro smashed them up, but that stuff's going to all be in there. Jesse's going to get that up for me probably
as soon as it's ready, my queen.
Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, something like that. So that'll be up there for you. Sign up, check it out. Use the draft simulator. Check out all of the trade stuff. We've got heaps of videos coming out this week too, don't we?
Yeah, we have a couple. Yep, we have an Essendon video.
We do.
We have trade rumours. We're also back live on Thursday night.
Yeah, the Essendon video's good, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pumped it on that one.
We also have 2 new members I want to shout out that joined during the week. It was Boy Boo and Noah Rita. Thank you so much for your support.
Love it. Love it. We will wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for being with us on this wonderful Monday evening. We'll see you in the next one.
Go. Back to back at the urinal.
Margaret.